finished. Started the stream. Okay. Let's go to channel analytics. Hey, what's up, Brown Pants? Alrighty, we're getting started. Ooh, sweet. Content. Sweet, sweet, sweet. How's everybody doing today? Nice. Okay, now let's I have to finish uploading this next. Visibility. Let's make sure everything is good. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good on all those fronts. Just get me to the visibility part. Let me get to visibility. Okay, and let's make it public. Okay, we're uploading the new video. Everything's good. I mean, Kizaru lost to Gear 5 Luffy twice. I don't think you could really say he's above Big Mom, especially since he lost to like 2 hits. Is my mic weird again? God, I don't understand what is happening. It was working fine just before when I was testing it. Is my mic weird? If I do that, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, if I fix the mic or if I like try to do anything with it, can you guys hear me better now? It's probably a little low. It was probably that. If the mic is messed up in any way, it sounds good to me, by the way, at least from like my end, because the sound should be reverbing back into my headphones, which it is, and I sound fine in my headphones. If it's messed up, you guys are gonna have to deal with it because I have to like restart the whole stream in my laptop just before. I don't mind the robo voice. God damn it! Is it robo voice again? Let me. How about now? Does it sound better? Does it sound any better now? Does the voice sound any better now? Anyway, yeah, okay, it's good. Okay, perfect. Yeah, the mic is a bit of an issue. My laptop, I was actually going to, but directly after he still killed Vegapunk, so he's at the very least conflicted. Yeah, he's 100% conflicted. So real quick, my laptop is like, I'm not gonna say it's fried, but just before I started the stream, I had like another tab open from like my images and stuff to make sure everything was working well, and basically like the entire screen got corrupted. Like I just saw white black lines, like just vertical white and black lines. Oh, it's alright, Six. Hope you have a good one. Hope you and your friends have a good day. So I'm just letting you guys know that like my laptop is a bit fried right now. I don't understand like what's going on. Hey, what's good, Zod? So if anything, just letting you guys know whether or not I have to like cut the stream short because of some issue. I'll let you guys know. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, you mentioned it in the Discord, Brown Pants. We have to talk about some of the SBSs, and there's also some manga I want to go over today. Specifically, I want to read over the new Kagurabachi since I don't think I've read it. Oh, right, new Blue Lock as well. Have I read Blue Lock? Have I read this chapter? God, is Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest its own thing? 171 chapters? No way. I mean, it would have to be, right? Fairy Tail's way too long for it to just be 171 chapters. Okay, so this is definitely a new chapter. This is definitely a new chapter. Okay. So we'll go over Blue Lock, we'll go over Kagurabachi, if a new chapter has been out. Okay, it has, and then we'll go over... Is King and Omega... King and Omega got a new chapter. Had to have. Okay, yeah, King and Omega, we'll go over that too. There's also the new SBS. I know that some people brought it up. The hell's Blue Box? There's also the new SBS, and then we'll see how the stream goes along. I have some family over they're spending here. They came for like a specific occasion or whatever. You might hear one of my little cousins walk in maybe once or twice. I don't know, but it should all be fine. I got the thumbnail from an artist that I got off of Fiverr. If anybody, if you guys are ever looking for like thumbnails or specific like kind of like digital work, I think you guys can check out Fiverr. It's a good app. A friend of mine recommended it to me. I found the thumbnail artist through there. It's dope. I've been reading manga more than watching anime, and I think I'm hooked onto reading instead of watching. Same. I haven't watched an anime since JJK ended and One Piece since the One Piece fan. I don't really watch anything other than like One Piece with a friend and JJK when it's out. Technically, I've watched like portions of like Spy Family, this like the new season. I've watched Alia sometimes expresses her feelings in Russian. I've watched stuff like that like recently. Spy Family, I watched it last year. I don't think I've watched any Spy Family this year. And Undead Unluck, a little bit of Undead Unluck. I think I've got to like episode 3 whenever they're like at the Russian beach. I'm not really watching much. I guess Dan to Dan. I've seen Dan to Dan's episodes 1 through 3. I still need to watch 4. 5 billion berries, which makes sense since he's the head of the Marines. Oh, really? Right after that, out of Gear 5, Kizaru gave him food. Truly built the Rocky Balboa, winning no matter how many times he falls. Big Mom can never. I mean, Big Mom's tanking way more hits than... Big Mom is 100% tanking more hits than Kizaru. Like, the whole and survived is... I mean, Luffy doesn't necessarily go for kills, so the whole survive part, I don't know if... no, yeah. Decided to give Cody an insane arc, not on panel. Poor Kobe. Yeah, the Rocky Port incident. I'd love to see more about that. So when are we going to do Bleach read through next year? I'm definitely going to read through and watch 1,000 Year Blood War whenever that's out. I know I can't watch it on stream without getting into trouble. I mean, she's relative to Kaido in terms of endurance. I don't know why she wouldn't be able to tank Gear 5 punches. It took Luffy, as a matter of fact, we can go over this in the manga. It took Luffy slamming Kaido down, reversing one of his Boro breaths, inflating Kaido, and then inflating Kaido, which I don't know if that actually dealt damage. If we're going by the anime, he landed a couple punches too on Kaido during like that first Gear 5 sequence. Like, Luffy landed a lot of hits on Kaido, and Big Mom should be relative to Kaido in terms of endurance. So I have no reason to believe she would go down in 1 or 2 hits. There's legitimately no reason to believe she would go down in a hit or 2. I would also confirm work together. Law, Kobe, and Blackbeard worked together during the Rocky Port incident. Really, I really hope that we eventually get at least. I really hope that we could get at least like a. Not maybe like a side manga, maybe not that, but like a anime adaptation of what happened in the Rocky Port incident. Maybe when Egghead comes back and everything, they may decide to animate it. Give us like a mini OVA about the Rocky Port incident. I'd love to see about that. The Ghoster. You can do Discord watch parties for 1,000 Year Blood War. I could do Discord watch parties. That'd be interesting. We could do that. 5 billion is crazy. Level of a threat and still has potential to be the case. The next time Akainu gets screen time in front of the world, he'd be over Whitebeard. Like, that's crazy. Probably. I just got a damn ad. Why does the live have ads? I don't know. I wouldn't say Kaido is above Big Mom. There's no reason to believe that Kaido is above Big Mom, especially since they're consistently, and I really do mean consistently, portrayed by both feats and narrative to be equals. You good? You sound less energetic than usual. I'm not feeling less energetic. It's just, I mean, I woke up like, 3 hours ago? Had breakfast and stuff, played a bit of Puyo Puyo Tetris and Tekken 8 with the family. That was really it. I've also sort of like, I wouldn't say like I'm low on low energy. I just don't feel like, putting out, talking at the top of my lungs and putting out stuff. We acknowledge that nobody saw Kizaru. I'll hype this man up after the SBS became a... that's fair. When One Piece is over, would y'all rather see a future One Piece series or a prequel that goes over the hockey era? or the Void Century. But we're likely to get a Void Century flashback at the very least. I just genuinely, I could not, I don't think anyone could ever convince me that we're not going to get, unless like the series ends and there's no, we could be at like the last like 5 chapters, I would still believe we're going to get a Void Century flashback. Now, in terms of, actually, let me fix this. 1 second. That should be a lot better. Okay, that should be better for like you guys to hear me. In terms of the prequel or sequel, I think One Piece just needs to stay as its own thing. It doesn't need to do the Naruto Boruto route and like get a sequel. Once Luffy becomes Pirate King, likely the world will be in a much better position, you could say, in a much better place. So it could be good. I don't know if there's like a new Speedman. As for the, isn't Kaido's narrative that he's the strongest creature, only Joy Boy can beat him? What narrative does Big Mom have? The fact that she is a Yonko with Kaido has a similar bounty to him, though granted that doesn't express power levels, but she is consistently portrayed to be his equal and she can fight alongside him for multiple days on end without receiving any bit of damage. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like you'd have to just ignore the consistent showings of her and Kaido at this. Like, don't get me wrong, there are ways that Kaido does surpass Big Mom, like 100% in durability, but to say that, he's just above her, like, he's just like this tier above her, I'm sorry. You could argue he's relatively stronger than her, like, let's say, out of like 100, if he's like a 98, if she's like a 95, he's like a 98, that's fine, you know what I mean? If he's like 100, she's like a 97, a 98. Again, that's all fine. But to say that he's just like this tier above her, like, I don't know, out of, again, 100, she's like a 70, he's an 80 or a 90. To me, that's just 100% untrue. Also due to the fact that, they had to basically separate the two. There was no way that they could fight them both at the same time. As for the new speed meta for Kizaru, I mean, he was off panel for a good portion of time. At least there's nothing for me to believe that, like, Kizaru moves so fast nobody could see him. Any normal Marine soldier, 100%, especially the ones that might have been surrounding Luffy, 100% those guys would not have been able to see Kizaru. I don't think any of those guys could perceive the speed of light. Saturn, Bonnie, and everybody was sort of focused on, like, the big Oni spider thing that was basically like right there in front of them. Luffy was basically on the ground. It's not like he's paying attention. So, I mean, Kizaru moving at the speed of light while off screen still seems to me like the most probable answer. We also got some info on the past of Fujitora and Green Bull. The way they were recruited is most def sus. Yeah, from what I understood, let me see if I can get the new SBS up. Does anybody know a website that I can find them? New One Piece SBS. Let me just see. SBS. Everybody was so focused on something else. Kizaru didn't blitz. He just took advantage of the situation. Yeah, that's what all I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's necessarily true to say that, like, oh, he just moved so fast that literally every single one of these combatants is, again, able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels strange to me to say that, like, oh, yeah, he just absolutely speed blitzed everybody else, but then he couldn't do that to, like, kill Vegapunk. You know what I mean? I don't know. It feels like it's too convenient. You know what I mean? Like there's just not enough to back that up. I mean, he was on the ground. He was one of the few people that wasn't being covered by Saturn's like paralyzing gaze. So again, I just wouldn't believe someone saying, "Oh yeah, Kizaru just blitzed everybody. He moved so fast." Again, nobody could see him. Let's see. Green Bull is a ditty. Is he a ditty? Is he a ditty? The 110. SBS 110. That's what it is. Let's see if we can look that up again. One Piece. SBS 1. Is it 110? Yeah, it's 110. Info thread. Okay. Let's see if we can find anything on spoilers. No, we can't. Third question. The long arm tribe has 2 elbows in one arm, right? Does each of those elbows have their own terms? Okay. In chapter 1103, Luffy was so hungry he couldn't move, but in chapter 106, he became full. Who was it that gave Luffy food? Luffy started to wolf down food, but when he said food, who was it that responded? Was it Sanji or Frankie, who was present near him? Kizaru and Sentomaru were also there. Whoever did it never got exposed, it seems. The action seems to be done at the speed of light that even the naked eye can't see. Even I didn't know. Even I don't know who did it. The speed of light. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Kizaru could 100% blitz regular Marines. Like, he could definitely perception blitz any regular Marine that, like, is around Luffy, maybe putting their guns at him, but in terms of, like, everybody else, nobody was focusing on Luffy or Kizaru. There was also the whole thing with Kujaku's 26, Drake is 33, old Garus is 29. The 20 years Jinbei thing. I like how, like, he just gets a mustache. What makes him evil, what makes him, like, the whole, like, why do we end to it is just him getting a mustache. Keyword naked eye, aka without future sight and observation haki. Yeah. Could be interpreted like that. I've been certain words in the SBS where there's a result poop, poo 13 times boobs, big boobs, chest 19 times penis, willy dong 36 times. What exactly is the SBS? Well, are you for real? I really don't remember it too well. There's anything who said it? It's Sonata. Sonata. Fucking Sonata. This made me laugh. I brought this up to my mom. I asked her, like, do you know who Giorno Germani is? Or whatever the hell his name is? Armani or whatever the hell his name is, Giorgio Armani, and she was like, yeah, and I just explained to her, like, the whole joke. She liked it. Okay. There's also the stuff about, like, the admirals. Let's see if we can find some stuff like that. Yeah, I think it was a whole situation where, like, Fujitora, he had his gambling problems. He kept losing money or something like that, but then he was considered a criminal due to something being destroyed. Circumstance of the Aoi Kingdom being destroyed in the war. That's interesting. And then Aramaki hails from the South Blue. He was a police officer from the Taya Kingdom and caused a great incident involving a woman and got thrown in a prison. His reputation of possessing extraordinary strength reached the government. He got drafted into the Marines and immediately got a special promotion for Admiral. So this guy must have been a monster. Like, Green Bull, the fact that, like, Green Bull in the span of 2 years, like, just showed up out of nowhere and then just got immediately promoted to Admiral, that's kind of crazy. Like, all things considered, that is kind of crazy. It's funny to think that Oda was writing the chapter and then somehow Luffy gets food, so even Oda was like, what the fuck, who did that? I didn't draw that. True! There is no issue. Kizaru wasn't trying to fight. Also, his bowl was in the panel when Luffy did it. Kizaru was so fast, he speed blitzed the author. That's true. That's, honestly, if Kizaru was so fast, he speed blitzed the author, he basically has, like, actual incalculable speed, like, I think that's even faster than, like, just being able to move without the concept of, like, time or space within a, By the way, again, if you guys hear anything in the background, just as a reminder, that's my family. I have people visiting and stuff, so yeah. 1 second, guys. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I didn't want you guys to hear that. So, the new video's up, by the way. It's titled Stop Debating Zoro versus Kid. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, right here. Stop debating Zoro versus Kid. If anybody, hey, 91 views already. Sweet. Have I gotten any notifications for it? No. Oh, wow. What does this guy say? Conqueror's Awakening will always be more potent than a Devil Fruit Awakening. I don't know about that, because Luffy couldn't beat... I mean, if that were the case, then Luffy could have done more damage to Kaido with just Conqueror's Haki alone, but he needed his Devil Fruit Awakening. I don't know about that. The SBS also implies that the world government will find out what Fujitora did as a war criminal. What do you think it will be? It's so interesting to me that, like... the world government would take someone like... Let me rephrase what I was going to say. It's interesting to me the fact that like the world government will take someone that can be considered a criminal and give them the promotion of an admiral just based on like their merit alone, based on the capability of, based on combat capabilities alone. That to me sounds so funny in the concept that you basically. What's that? Sorry. One second, guys. I'm getting a mess. I'm getting a phone call. Yo. Okay. Um. The scale out of moderate to don't scale. Yeah. Okay. Uh. Is now confirmed to be the fastest character in the verse. I wouldn't say this confirms he's the fastest character in the verse. It doesn't confirm anything at all. As I was mentioning earlier, Thesian, as I was Joseph, I'll just call you Joseph. As I was mentioning earlier, so I'm not sure if you were here for that. Sorry, not irrelevant speed, incalculable speed. By the way, sorry, I too many stuff going around at once. So Kizaru was off panel. It said to the naked eye, which would likely mean there wasn't any hockey being used, or at least he wasn't detected by any hockey, in the sense that like none of the Marine soldiers, like the fodder soldiers, the jobbers that were there, just aiming their guns at Luffy, they wouldn't have been able to see him. Everybody was too focused on Saturn and the whole like Bonnie situation. So, and Sanji and the others were kind of frozen. So like, again, it's not an inherent speed blitz on everybody else. It's just no one's paying attention to Kizaru. No one's paying. The only people that are paying attention to Luffy are soldiers, since Luffy's basically just out of. He ran out of gas. So I just have no reason to believe that like, oh, he just randomly speed blitzed everybody in the room without anybody being able to tell, as if anybody was paying attention to him. I've seen people use Kizaru giving Luffy food with them noticing as One Piece characters not being light speed. I mean, it wouldn't mean that they're not light speed. It's you know what? I bring this up in like my Zoro versus Kid video, where it's like one thing happening later on in the story does not immediately discredit everything that happened beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, Eustace Kid getting one shot by Shanks does not discredit the fact that he was capable of fighting and taking hits from Big Mom. It doesn't discredit the fact that Big Mom is stronger than literally every opponent they fought up until now besides Kaido. In the same vein, it's like saying, oh, well, because of an SBS statement where Kizaru said he moved at the speed of light and nobody saw it, it's like, if you interpret that as, well, that just means that nobody in One Piece is light speed because the guy made out of light blitzed everybody in a moment that, again, doesn't inherently entail anybody knowing where the hell Kizaru was. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't, it's not an anti-feat, and it doesn't just, there's nothing there that inherently says, oh yeah, One Piece characters are just light speed. It just says well, let me see what it says. It's somewhere here. Yeah, no. Right here. Oda. Luffy was wolfing down food. Luffy said food. Who was it that responded? Was it Sanji or Frankie were present near him? Kizaru and Tamaru were also there. Whoever did it never got exposed, it seems. The action seems to be done at the speed of light, that even the naked eye can't see him. Naked eye, like somebody else said, could just mean the actual human eye, which most of the Marines that were there were probably either looking at Saturn or they were staring at Luffy, making sure he couldn't go anywhere. And those guys, you can't argue have haki. Everybody else there, probably, but who's focusing on Kizaru? Fastest Admiral over Garp equals Roger equals Kaido equals Luffy. I wouldn't say Garp is faster than Luffy. I would not even argue Garp is faster than Luffy. It's not surprising. Remember, they created the Warlord system where they put a bunch of pirates under the protection as long as they did stuff for them. Yeah,
It's not surprising, actually. You're right. The warlord system completely validates the idea that, like, as long as you are not considered a pirate in and of itself, and as long as you are part of, like, let's say, a functioning government, or a functioning kingdom's military force, then you can probably be promoted to an admiral, a vice admiral, a captain, even, depending on what what someone, depending on like what your merits are. Then that dude in the Shanks crew can outrun his shadow, which can only do if you're faster than light. That's fair. I actually can't recall Kizaru being called the fastest. No, there is. Listen, I've looked this up, Manlight. I've looked this up. There is objectively no statement in the entirety of One Piece, in any SBS, in any One Piece canon, in any One Piece canon source, that states Kizaru is the fastest character. There is nothing. The idea, and I mentioned this also in one of my previous videos as well, there is objectively nothing in the series that has ever even remotely hinted towards the fact that Kizaru is the fastest character. That is a statement that came from somebody in some social media where probably somebody commented, or a few people commented, oh yeah, Kizaru is the fastest One Piece character because he's made out of light, whatever. That is a misinterpretation that somebody must have put out, and then, from there on out, if somebody comments it, other people commented, other people see it, and then they just never fact check it. Yeah, no, I've looked this up before. There is nothing even remotely stated in the story that says Kizaru is the fastest character. What do you think Kizaru blitzing everyone to get Luffy food? Best speed feed? It's not a speed feed. Well, it is a speed feed. It's not a speed blitz. He didn't blitz anybody. Again, if you have let's say you have 10 people in a room, and out of those 10 people, 2 of them are in a corner of the room, and like 6 other, 2, so 5. So 6 other people are staring at those guys, and then you have 2 guys on the, one guy's like, let's say, knocked out on the couch, the other guy's like on the other side of the room by the corner. Nobody's going to be paying attention to the guy that's knocked out, and nobody's going to be paying attention to the guy that's in the corner. Everybody's going to be looking at the 2 guys that are taking all of the attention. You know what I mean? Like, where's the chapter? Where's 103? We're going to look this up right now. It's not a speed blitz. It's just no one's paying attention to Kizaru, and he can easily blitz his own, and he can easily blitz Marine soldiers. Like, the ones that were around Luffy, he could blitz them. That's not an issue. That's fine. Let's see. Everybody is aiming up at Bonnie. Where's Kizaru on panel? We can't see him. Damn, I can't move. Luffy's on the ground. The only person that even remotely looks back is one of the satellites. Again, everyone's paying attention to Bonnie. Again, everyone's paying attention to this guy. See? Nobody. And I really do mean, quite literally, no one there is paying attention to anybody else. Should an observation hockey prevent this theory, though? Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily prevent it. You could also have your observation hockey focused on a person. I mean, in terms of presence, you can also just focus on a single individual's movement. There are 22 people at only 5 likes. Everyone like up. It's alright. You guys don't have to like up. We know Kizaru isn't capped at light speed. He can accelerate for God's sake, but Kizaru is also bright as fuck when he moves. Everyone will notice it. So Kizaru just moved so fast that FTL to FTL Plus guys didn't see. I wouldn't say he moved so fast that they didn't see. I honestly wouldn't say that. Again, I'm eating a cinnamon roll. You want one? Honestly, I would love a cinnamon roll. Depends on where you got it from. Cinnabon? Cinnabon's fire. The manga directly says Kizaru can accelerate past light speed. That's what he did to Luffy. I think Rinbo's support of the Celestial Dragons probably had a big part in his promotion. The world government might have pulled some strings. I could imagine that. I 100% could imagine that. Especially, and it makes sense considering that, like, the interaction he had with the Scabbards saying that, like, oh, if you guys aren't affiliated with the world government, you essentially have no rights is, oh, your mom made it? I am sure that shit must taste fire then. Mom-made baked goods is always fire, regardless of who it is. Like, if it's mom-made baked goods, there's always that tiny bit of love. That shit always slaps. You have to turn observation hockey on in this situation. There is a reason the Vice Admiral's presence should have their observation hockeys on. Nice. But I mean, also your observation hockey is relative to your speed, and you can't really argue any vice admiral there is even remotely close to admiral level. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. So I have like 3 mangas I want to read today. We have to do some. There's only 48 chapters in the series. That's crazy. Let's see. We have to do Blue Lock. We have to read a new chapter of Blue Lock. We have to read Kagurabachi, and we have to read. Excuse me. And we have to read Kengan Omega. So, hey, what's up, Jake? Oh, let me stretch. Okay. So, there's plenty of us to do. Thoughts on the world government draft being the reason some of the 8 nations that got destroyed simply because they lost their fighting potential set to said draft. Really? Was that part of one of the SBSs? I would love to see a versus battle where 2 characters fight within our universe with all its limitations. Example, speed is capped at light speed. I think it would be interesting. That'd be an interesting fight. It would have to certainly limit a lot of what the characters can do, especially since, well, it's interesting because you'd have to, at that point, I would just say use characters that already can move at top light speed, and then everything else would probably still apply as it should. Usually characters that like stay to a certain extent of like light speed usually, or I mean not exactly all the time, but for the most part I'd say like any series that like, you know, works within a certain confines of like real world logic would likely also have other physics applied to it. Read one Dan Joy Boy Top 1. Yeah, it's in Discord. Oh, okay. I'll check it out in a bit. What do you think about the Rocky Port incident? Lore finally got revealed. I haven't, man. I have to like read through the entirety of the SBS. I genuinely have to like read through the entirety of the SBS because it was a lot of information, and as it came out, I just didn't get a chance during like the last couple of days. Where exactly did the Rocky Port incident get explained? Let's see. 10th question among the 9 admirals. No, that's fine. The vice admirals. 5th question, age and profile. If anybody could, I don't know if you guys can link stuff to the chat box. I would, if you guys can find like the actual like Rocky Port incident stuff, I'd love to read it. I haven't checked it out at all. Were you able to watch the Z-Mount animations videos I recommended? I can watch them right now with you guys. I can watch them soon enough with you guys. He would be FTL then for sure. I mean, Kizaru is definitely FTL. Kizaru is certainly FTL, and I remember somebody mentioning something about who do you think will be the fastest One Piece character by the end of the series? It'll have to be anywhere between like Luffy or Sanji. If I'd have to give a guess, it'd be between somewhere around like Luffy or Sanji. Especially if we're talking like Year 5 Luffy, he speed blitzes almost everybody. Kizaru right now is also up there as well, though. We have to see some impressive feats for Kizaru that actually show him speed blitzing others. Because if you get it between like Luffy and him, they kind of speed blitz each other, kind of like Luffy did with Kaido. I'd say that like One Piece is an interesting story in that like even if you both are like at relative speeds, you can speed blitz one another like Luffy and Kaido did during their final fight. To join warlords after you defeated a warlord, that is true. The manga directly says I saw a statement earlier about Sanji when you guys commented something about Sanji earlier. Even if one could argue that the recent SBS is an anti-feat for FTL arguments, this is only one example. There are countless of other... I mean, it's not even about other ways of countering it. It's just one example does not automatically remove everything else, especially if, like, you have consistent feats, especially if you have, like, consistent feats that have been displayed throughout the majority of the story. You know what I mean? It's like the whole Dispo... Let me fix the mic real quick so I can get, like, closer to you guys. It's like Dispo from Dragon Ball. It's like Dispo from Dragon Ball Super during the Tournament of Power, where they said he can run at the speed of light, or he can like move around at the speed of light, which again is inherently untrue since Dragon Ball characters have been able to surpass the speed of light, given you know, specific feats shown throughout the Saiyan Saga, Buu Saga, even I think even OG Dragon Ball. Who's faster than Kizaru? Who's faster than Kizaru? I'd argue Luffy's relative to Kizaru. I'd argue that probably Shanks would be faster than Kizaru. Especially since, as a matter of fact, there is a feat of Shanks actually speed blitzing Kizaru in One Piece Film Red. It's, again, well, it's a movie and everything, but, I mean, if you want to give, like, a feat that is, if you want to give a One Piece feat, technically Shanks did speed blitz Kizaru. Didn't Luffy grab Kizaru while he was teleporting? He did. Luffy actually grabbed Kizaru while he was teleporting. Especially when he got upset by him. Let me see. That was, what, 108? That was like, what? Yeah, 108. It's a Shanks wank movie. Come on. It's not a Shanks wank movie. And Shanks is and it is kind of consistent with what Shanks can do. It's consistent with like what Shanks has been able to do, especially speed blitzing Eustace Kid at the rate that he did. Okay. Oh, right here. Kizaru's about to move. Well, he doesn't teleport, but he's about to move, and Luffy just grabs him like before he's able to displace himself. Joey Boy faster than Kizaru. Imu had to jump him to win. That's funny. A One Piece movie had Luffy beat Roger's rival Shiki. Movie shouldn't be used. I'm just saying, like, it is a feat technically that exists. I'm not saying it's you should count it. Let me rephrase. You should not count this feat. It is non-canon. But if you want to say who's faster than Kizaru, you can technically say Shanks by that one movie feat. Also, technically, Luffy grabbing him is actually is a bit of a blitz. Sanji literally blitzed Kizaru's laser and destroyed it. There are FDL plus easily. There's no arguing. No, there isn't any argument. Also, Shiki could have also have gotten weaker. We know for a fact that like that generation. We know for a fact that the generation, Roger's generation of pirates, specifically like Shiki, Whitebeard, and all these others. And Shiki, if I remember right, what is Shiki the Golden... Shiki the Golden Lion age? What is Shiki's age? There should be a canon age for him. He was... Does it not give us... Oh, he doesn't give us his age? I remember seeing something that like he should be relative to like Roger, Whitebeard, and Garp's age. And I mean, depending on the character, your body starts to weaken itself. Your body starts to weaken itself. Oh, I'm sorry, Brown Pants. I'll check it out in a second. Where was your comment? I'm sorry. Where? I did not see it. I don't see any of your comments, Brown Pants. Oh, the manga directly says Kizaru can accelerate. Yeah, I saw that one before. Wait, there was one more. It's not surprising the world. Yeah, no, I've seen your comments, Brown Pants. Oh, they keep disappearing. Sorry, I don't know about that. But yeah, so in terms of like the One Piece like Strong World movie, I mean, again, Shiki is very old. He could have just really been affected by the gears of time. You know what I mean? Like it's not crazy to say that like a character from that era didn't get weakened to the point where like, okay, you know, someone like pre-time skip Luffy could beat them. I'm just saying, considering that like Whitebeard and Garp are on the same age, I think Garp might be a little bit older than Whitebeard, and he got that weak, but then Rayleigh is also still like around that tier of strength, like he didn't get too weak. It's like, you could definitely make the argument that, you know, depending on the character, it's not like getting old in the series shouldn't necessarily mean that like all the characters are being weakened by the same amount. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Shiki the same age range. Yeah, I'm sure he's the same age range as them. I know that, like, how old is Garp? I think Garp's like 78, if I remember right. The panel where Luffy grabs Kizaru mid-teleportation kind of destroys any argument of Kizaru running out Luffy's timer by playing hit and run. But you also have to consider that, like, and I started to believe this after I saw a specific video from a Mr. Morge, where he brought up that, like, there's technically like two forms to Gear 5. Not forms, but like there's two states for it. There's the Gear 5 where Luffy's having fun, he's laughing, he's inherently allowing the personality of the Devil Fruit to take over, and he's just playing around, toying around. And then there's the version that kind of like the one where he fought Kaido, where it's like, no, we're not playing around anymore, we're serious now, and he's basically there to F you up. This version of Luffy right here, the one from Egghead, compared to the one where he was fighting Kizaru, where his eyes were popping out and he was running around and trying to say like, oh, gotcha, and stuff like that, I would say that's the more playful version of Luffy. But this one right here, where Luffy has a more serious expression on his face, I would say, and I do agree with Mr. Morge, that this version of Luffy is the one that you have to really watch out for, because Gear 5 does inherently nerf Luffy in how serious he gets into a fight. Because he's always laughing, because he's having more fun, he essentially messes around a bit more, and his timer does run out not quicker, but it is more likely to run out against an opponent, especially one with Kizaru that's playing Kid and Run. While if Luffy gets serious, if he says, you know what, no time for games, don't get me wrong, he can still smile and everything, but he's no longer laughing, he's no longer playing around, he can do just this. Like, it's no longer a joke anymore. Like, he is here to mess you up. All of his attacks from here on out are there to actually hurt you. Luffy is there to hurt you at that point. I ate 2 cinnamon buns and a glass of milk. Yes, I ate the glass. So did you, like, freeze the milk, Zod? Wasn't Sanji's brother stated to be Lightspeed, then got speed blitzed by Katakuri? Yeah, 100%. And also, they're not just Lightspeed. There's an image of one of Sanji's brothers. I'd have to connect my external hard drive, so you guys would have to forgive me. I'm going to see if I can look this up on my own. There's also an image of like Sanji's brothers literally speed blitzing the very light beams that they shoot. Let me see if I can find the image. It should be around like 970. Let's look around like 970. 870. Ooh, excuse me. 870. Okay, so they're transformed. Let's see. Okay, so they're going through now. Let's see. Come on. Or was it beforehand? It's probably beforehand, so we'll go like 5 chapters back. We'll go to like 565, 567, 566, 566. Blue Lock chapter is fire, but Peak Piece is better. Otis special Q&A discussion thread is not letting me post a link. Okay. Can you send it to the Discord, and I will, if you send it to the Discord, I'll look it through there, and then I'll try to put it out through the, I'll try to put it up. Okay. Why is this happening? Oh, because I went to 968. That's why. Okay, I was so confused. Okay. 868. Okay, 867. Let's try that. Oh, no, not Big Mom losing her shit. KX launchers. Where do we see Sanji's brothers act the fool? Castling. Okay, so they transform. Sparking red. Let me see if I can get some feats for these guys. Or was it afterwards? Then it had to be afterwards. So that was 871, so we'd have to go to like 872 then. Maybe. Or perhaps. But look, animation is so as people compare it to CapCut edits. I am so upset by the Blue Lock edits. I am on so much copium right now. I'm quite literally telling myself consistently, they'll do something better for the U20 game. They'll do something better for the U20 game. I'm basically at this point, I'm coping so hard. I'm like, the animation's ass for the Blue 20 game. The animation's ass for the U20 game. It'll be good for the U20 game, I mean. Man, I'm so upset by it. I'm so upset by it. It's like, I feel like Blue Lock deserves so much better. Who was the third Yonko crew? What are you talking about? Just finished the Zoro versus Kid video. Good job, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. The Gears of Time affected Big Mom in terms of beauty. The Gears of Time affected Shiki in terms of power. Exactly. This is one of that's not Goku, that's Kakarot moments. Outrunning their light beams. Yeah, they were outrunning their own light beams. Have you played Hollow Knight? I played a little bit of Hollow Knight. Unfortunately, I can't... Metroidvanias are extremely hard for me to play. I've played Metroid Dread, I've played a little bit of like Castlevania's Symphony of the Night, but games like that, I don't know. It's just like, 2D games are just maybe not for me. 2D games, I've really realized that like they're not for me. I'm excited for something like Anton Blast, but it's really hard for me to just sit down and play a game like that. I feel like when even a game like Hollow Knight where like you also have large boss battles that do take a while, you know, a lot of skill based and stuff like that. I probably could play it if I got invested into it, but it's just, it feels like one of those games where like, until I get to do all the cool shit that the game allows me to do, I'm playing at like a very weakened version, and I hate doing stuff like that. Uta got cooked by some drugs, damn. Hey, animation, they're not moving at all. Blue Lock fell off horribly, yeah. I'm so upset by it. Come on. We're not going to get good animation for Blue Lock for the next season if keeps being ass. Just get Mappa. Just pull out the whips and just start getting and just start getting the Mappa guys ready. I get it. I get it. With JJK, they work too hard, but come on, get me a studio that'll actually do something good. I just need to hear. I'm just saying. If Blue Lock season 3 comes out, if we get to like the Neo Egotist League and the animations ask for that, I'm strictly just gonna be a Blue Lock manga reader only. There's just no point in watching it afterwards. I watched the first episode with a friend of mine. Sorry, with 2 friends of mine. I watched the first episode and I sat there and thought to myself, yo, man, this isn't that bad. I don't know why people are talking so much trash. And then later, like a day or 2 afterwards, I sat down and I said, yo, so I basically sat down, I saw a reel and said, there's just no way. There's just no way this is an actual moving PowerPoint presentation. It's so annoying, man. Also, I feel like a game like Hollow Knight, unless like there's some cheese or some like broken build I can use, I wouldn't have fun playing it. Don't get me wrong. Not to say that like I don't have fun playing hard games, but I'm the kind of guy that like likes playing the broken shit in hard games. Because if the bosses are gonna be unfair, I'm gonna be unfair. The last time I played like a hard game that just had no cheese to it, it was just you have to be good at it. Is Lies of P, or as a friend of mine would say, Lies of Piss, and I beat it, but oh man, I kind of wish I got the true ending. What does the One Punch Man manga have more animation than the Blue Lock anime? True. It's egoist, brother. Egoist or egotist? Search Sparking Valkyrie Google. You'll get the panel. Sparking Valkyrie Google. Sparkling Valkyrie One Piece. Oh, right here. There's the manga panel. Okay. Thank you, Brown Pants. Actually, wait, was it? Oh, thank you, Noro. Appreciate it. Yeah, right here. He's literally outrunning his own beams of light. Yeah, no, he quite literally blitzed his own beams of light. One Piece characters have been light speed for a hot minute. Sparking Zero jump scare. I posted a link in the One Piece questions in the Discord. Thank you so much, Brown Pants. I'll pull them up in just a second. I'm probably gonna get like a lot of comments. All I know is that like this new video I uploaded will have a ton, and I genuinely do mean a ton of people getting upset with me over me saying that, Eustace Kid beat Zoro. Okay, so it's Reddit right there. Okay, so let me do it like this. Wait, let me just do that one more time. 1 second, guys. Yeah. I have to... No, that's not it. Right here. I'll switch to that. Gmail. Literally a debate for 3 months, dude, was basically light isn't light speed in One Piece. So glad. It's so annoying. It's so annoying to hear like people constantly discredit One Piece, but then they'll say like series that are a lot slower are also just not. Am I hearing a background noise or is it just me? It's probably my family. Like I mentioned earlier, and I'll bring it up again. I have family visiting. They're all in the kitchen right now, having lunch and just discussing stuff like that. So, just please bear in mind that like I wouldn't be able to stream otherwise for like another week and a half if I waited for them to leave. Okay, so when Luffy's using Gear 5, he pulls out things like goggles and baseball helmets from what looks like a Hagoromo feather raiment. Please tell us how it works. It's the entrance to Nika's fantasy. That can be interpreted in so many ways, it's not even funny. Sabo inherited the Mera Mera no Mi flame. The flame fruit. He's demonstrated its powers to the fullest. Did he do some training to properly use the Mera Mera no Mi? He's training every day. I think that Sabo, who regained his memories, remembered a lot of things. His dragon ever lived together with Luffy? No, at least not in what Luffy remembers. He's different with Kuma because he is the leader of the Revolutionary Army, and if the parentage relationship is revealed, it'll endanger Luffy's life. I wonder what kind of feeling he felt when he forced to leave his family, and did he think what did he think when he saw his son in Logtown? I'm really excited to see like what I'm really excited to see like what the first interaction between Luffy and Dragon's gonna be. Are they gonna be like just both sticking their pinkies into their nose? Like there's definitely not gonna be like some hug stuff. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you're my dad? Yeah, cool." I think that's gonna be the reaction. I genuinely think that's gonna be the reaction. Does Nika have a whole dimension? Listen, it'll make One Piece's like scaling go crazy if it's some like dimensional shit, if it's some like fantasy based realm or something. It'll make One Piece scaling crazy. I'm not here to talk about that just because I'm willing to like wait till more stuff comes out. When it comes to stuff that's like that vague, I'd rather just stay away from it until I have more information to really give my idea. The ship with Blackbeard pirates is named the Saber of Zebek. Does it have any relationship to Roxy Zebek? Zebek is the name of a sailing ship, so it could be a coincidence or maybe not. Oda out here spitting some heat and saying some bullshit. The Kamusari, divine departure attack that took out Kid in one hit. Was that a move taught by Roger that Shanks learned it by imitating him? He remembered it because he always looked up to Roger. It's not just something that anyone from Roger Pirates can imitate, so Shanks' talent is quite astonishing. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. Please tell us the bounty system for the Cross Guild works. Fleet Admiral, 5 crowns. Admiral, 3 crowns. Vice Admirals, 5 stars. Rear Admirals, 3 stars. Captain and Commodore, 1 star, so on and so forth. 1 star. 1 crown equals 10 stars, so 100 million berries equals a star, so it would be 1 billion berries per crown. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. People will say Naruto have MFTL immeasurable based on only reaction feeds. People will say Naruto characters have MFTL reactions based on databook statements only. There is quite literally nothing as far as I'm aware. There is basically nothing in the entirety series of Naruto that's actually stated to be like light speed per the actual characters themselves. And if there is, it's very few and far in between. I notice One Piece fans are the only ones I know to downplay their own series. Like, they say Lightspeed, they'll say Oda doesn't understand physics or whatever nonsense. It goes into the whole idea of, like... And I had a conversation with this with David and Isaac, I think, like, a night or two ago, where I was basically saying that... Mostly David, where I was basically saying that, like, it's so mind-boggling to me, the mental gymnastics that some people will go to for something like... suspension of disbelief. And what's that term called? It's something to do with, like, you know, when you're playing a video game, like in the immersion of the series, you know what I mean? It goes also into like video games with the term of like immersion, like your own personal immersion into the series, you know what I mean? The idea of like suspension of disbelief is so mind-boggling to me, just because this is a series about characters who eat fruits that give them special powers. The world is absolutely massive. Almost no sense in logic actually pertains. And then, not even before like the Gear 5 Luffy stopped, their eyes would like pop out of their heads and like their teeth would literally come out with them, depending on like what scene was happening or how scared they were. Yeah, Akainu has a 5 billion berry bounty. That's so crazy. Zod, Luffy is technically massively faster, but you got a point. Yep. Let me finish reading something. I don't understand what you're saying. Wait, let me see. Gonna triple dot and Luffy gonna fall asleep. Surprised that Zoro in the anime I'm surprised that the anime doesn't have Zoro taking more hits from King, seeing how Toei loves Zoro. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? I might have missed something. I had a debate with 3 months ago. Basically, Lightspeed isn't light. Nami, Luffy deflecting lightning from an Eneru. Busy looking at the damn JoJo versus Persona death battle. That was stupid. Joker should not have... Wait, Joker wins? Okay, that just spoiled it for me. I wasn't sure who'd win. I haven't seen the fight yet. Damn, that was a big spoiler. Well, I mean, it's my fault. I haven't seen it yet. Some people really use the argument that Luffy couldn't run 200 miles per hour in Wano Act 1 to make Luffy not Lightspeed. Sabo training. I mean, Luffy will go at top speed if it means fighting. He's not gonna go top speed, same as he's not gonna go all out in terms of like the sumo match. You know what I mean? Like remember the sumo match that the Straw Hats had? I don't know if it was filler or if it was for like a movie, but where Usopp essentially beats Luffy in a sumo ring by just outsmarting him. I mean, let's be honest. If Luffy's just even if that's like Whole Cake Island Luffy, or even Dressrosa. Like, Luffy is speed blitzing Usopp every single time, but again, they're having fun, they're playing again. Luffy doesn't ever need to go all out for most situations that isn't having an actual fight. Luffy is quite literally the definition of I'm holding back in every sense of the word besides when a person has to get their asses beat into the ground. Like, unless I have to quite literally put you 5 feet under, I'm not gonna go all out. Like, I'm not even gonna go 1% of all out. The Q&A is missing questions 7 through 10. It's fine. My thing is all the speed stuff in Naruto comes specific abilities, not their own physical stats, because if someone is stronger than someone else in Naruto, they're faster when they're not. Yeah, in Naruto it depends. In Naruto it's a weird, very weird thing where like your speed doesn't scale to your strength. Dragon Ball and One Piece are like simultaneous in that sense. Even Bleach, they're all simultaneous in the sense that like your speed also does equal your strength. You can't be physically stronger than somebody, or at least there are very few and far between examples of you being physically stronger than somebody but that not matching with your speed. Kind of like Birder from Dragon Ball, where he says he's the fastest thing in the universe, but then he never races Frieza. You know what I mean? The white extreme attack. Yeah, the white extreme attack is a actual attack that is comprised of shooting light out, but then Itachi and Sasuke can't dodge the attack. It's just a wide range of like actual light hitting them. So I don't know, it's weird. Scroll down the comments a bit. Someone posted the rest of the questions here. Someone posted the rest of the questions? I don't see the questions. That's so weird. Scroll down into the comments. If anybody posted the questions in the comments, I would appreciate it if you could maybe post them again. Was the video the one you were gathering panels in the previous streams? Yeah, it's exactly. Dia, 100%. Wait, let me get this straight off. Did somebody say Zoro versus Kid? You know somebody post that's going to be a flame war? I mean, I'm just posting the video. This is the video. By the way, I'm just letting everybody know here. I'm not here to argue with anybody in the comments. There is no reason for me to believe as of now that Zoro takes any fight against Kid. Oh, the Reddit questions. Okay. The Reddit questions. Thank you. Suspension of disbelief is not the word. It's called hypocrisy. When they try to pretend it's not something, I guess. Do you think Luffy can turn into giant without Gear 5? He can inflate his arm to the size of a giant in the anime. We saw this when him and Chopper found the giant robot. Emeth. 1 second. When they found the giant robot Emeth, Luffy and Chopper in the anime were like losing their shits over it. Then Luffy gets on top of Emmeth's like jaw, I think, and he basically inflates his arm and starts like patting it on top. I think Luffy can inflate parts of his bodies. I don't think he can inflate his full body. Luffy never chased Gazelle Man. That was Okiku. How people kept lying about the situation. What's your thoughts on the Bleach being the slowest verse? I've seen talks about it on TT. What's TT? Twitch.tv. He means I got the post comments. Okay. As the 10th ship captain of the Blackbeard Pirates, what kind of work does Kuzan Aokiji actually do? And does he have subordinates? He has subordinates. He's not the type to obey everything Blackbeard says. For Kuzan, being part of the pirate crew doesn't necessarily mean he must do evil deeds. Rather, it implies living freely. However, as a member of the Blackbeard Pirates, it seems he has also caused many casualties. It's sad to see Kizaru go down this path. I'll say it. I find it sad to see Kizaru go down this path. I'd rather... I wouldn't say I'd rather him not go down this way, but at the same time, there's a couple of implications. Oh, it causes some implications that, like, you know, like Garp said, you're expelled, my stupid pupil, or whatever. And it's sad. Like, looking back, oh, TikTok, looking back at like the impact frames and just like the fight itself, it makes me sad because it's like Kizaru, for the atrocities that he saw and for like the way that his sense of justice waned with the Marines, it's genuinely sad to see him like fight his former master simply because the Marines have gone down a route that is almost irredeemable in a sense, and with Akainu under its hood, it makes sense as to why he had to leave. The Marines don't stand for justice in a sense. They'll protect people because they're paying a fine. It's not so much that they're a police, and it's not so much like they are a police. They're just a big pirate crew. Think of it like this: remove the title of pirate and Marines. They're all just different. They're all just organizations doing that essentially do the same thing. They just take different means by it. You know what I mean? Sorry, Kuzan, my bad. What kind of system is the world military draft? The Fuji. Okay, we already read this. The countries affiliated with the world government have their own soldiers and protection through the world military draft. The Marines strengthened their military by drafting the most capable soldiers from their ranks. This draft also became a trigger for the recent Eight-Nation Revolution, as the weakening of national defenses may have contributed to the revolution's success. Right? Also, I would say that. One second, guys. I'm going to go get something to drink because I need to take some medication. So I'll be back in just a second. But in terms of like the fastest to slowest verse, listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Bleach is not the slowest verse. If there are light speed statements within the story itself, that already puts him highly above Naruto in my opinion. I mean, like, the best you could say in terms of like movement speed for all of Naruto is light speed. The best I really think you can say is like light speed, maybe like 10, 100 times the speed of light if you want to just throw in random numbers for some of the characters. Oh, this is a little high. Okay. In my opinion, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for the most part. If you want to say like, oh, the Garganta or like the Ceros are light because of some statement out there, that's fine. I have no issues with that. If you want to, again, I have to scale Bleach. I have to like really sit down and read it, but if you ask me, going off of scaling, Naruto is by far the slowest verse. And One Piece, I would say, is the fastest verse by comparison. Yeah. What's your thoughts on Bleach? Red hair, you're right. How can you see Luffy be skilled to excel, man? What are your thoughts on Bleach being the slowest? Didn't Luffy knock out a giant during Marineford? I don't think he knocked out a giant during Marineford. At least not that as far as I can remember. Maybe in the anime. I mean, I did watch the anime with my mom, so probably. Zod got a point. Naruto being the slowest, be careful. The question says it seems like he caused casualties, so there's a chance he didn't. Yeah. I mean, him being just a captain of the Blackbeard Pirates already puts him at like a massive bounty. Bleach probably has the slowest, and Ceros aren't lightspeed. Clyde was lying when he said the author, and they were, but then the author said he never said that, so clearly Bleach has no real speed feats to scale. I have to like really look through Bleach myself. I'm ready to see the comments in the Zoro vs. Kid video. You don't know how they got in store for you. I mean, listen, YouTube criticism is fine because ultimately if people get upset at the video, which is fine, I personally don't care. Again, it's an opinion. And the next video I'm going to make is definitely going to piss off a lot of people. But for those of you that know what the next video is going to be from the Discord, do not post it in chat. But essentially any kind of like controversy, especially for something as light as Zoro versus Eustace Kid, which I don't think is going to get me like in trouble in any sense. It's definitely going to bring in a lot of comments from people. I'm expecting it, at least, for people that really like Zoro to defend him. Like I said, I'm not going to give a hint. For the most part, I'm not, but there are a couple of arguments I can still see for the other side. Anyway, I still have to like really sit down and work through it. But what I'm trying to get at is that interaction is important, and ultimately, if the more comments I get, be good or bad, a comment is a comment, so it'll do good for the channel. All right, I'll be back in a couple seconds, guys. Well, like a minute. Okay, we're back. Oh, I almost fell. Ah, yeah. Let me move this here. By the way, guys, happy Halloween. I know that some people, I know this is for like a lot of people their favorite holidays. So, hey, if it's Halloween, happy Halloween. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend too. I'm assuming that, like, you know, some of you are going to be going to parties and stuff like that, so just please be careful out there. You know, be sure to have an idea of what you're eating or intaking. I know that that might be an issue depending on where you live, so I hope. And if you don't celebrate it, hey, it's all good. I hope you have a good day either freaking way. Please tell us about the Rocky Port incident that became the cause of Kobe being hailed as a hero. Since explaining it would take too long, and I don't think this will be depicted in the main story. Oh, no, damn it. I wanted the Rocky Port. Okay, so that dream's dead. Damn it, Oda, you killed one of my dreams. How dare you? Hearing that the pirate island holds an important poneglyph, Law hijacked a massive passenger ship called the Rocky Port and infiltrated the island. The ship happened to be carrying the king and important noblemen of a certain country. However, the ship Law wanted to board was actually a smuggling vessel, flying the same nation's flag and involved in the dealings with Pirate Island, which led to the major trouble. Law clashed with the pirates, and soon after, Kobe and Blackbeard separately arrived on the island for their own reasons, leading the three to join forces. As a result of this incident, Blackbeard became the king of Pirate Island. Law was recognized as one of the 7 warlords, and Kobe was hailed a hero. That is so crazy. It would also mean that Kobe, like Garp, had to work with pirates. That's so crazy. I'm assuming that the event ended up with Blackbeard essentially taking down the pirate. Blackbeard and Law and Kobe taking down the pirates. Blackbeard usurped the island for his own control. Law took the hearts of all of the of all the pirates. I think he was also referring. I think in the fight with Blackbeard, he also referred to like the hearts that he stole from his men, which would mean that it was some of Blackbeard's very own men, or probably some pirates that eventually would join Blackbeard. And that then makes me think that, yeah, that would give Law the position of the world. That was what gave Law his position as a warlord. And then Kobe saving the kingdom, which the kingdom is affiliated with the world government, right? A king and nobleman, that would obviously hail Kobe as a hero. Kobe got kid backstory treatment. Crazy. Blackbeard is not fodder, but it's genuinely interesting to me to see that like a comparison. I had a conversation in a group chat I was in yesterday about like Blackbeard and Shanks and stuff like that, and I mentioned, and they were like, Blackbeard needs a massive power. Blackbeard at some point is going to like usurp Shanks or whatever, and I basically brought up that yeah, depending on how I agree with you, Kaio Krim. Depending on how you choose to like scale Bleach, it really depends on whether or not like you'll get it to like Universal or multi-galaxy or wherever the hell people want to like scale Bleach to. I'm more for like the more conservative views of like certain verses. I'm definitely all for like the more conservative views, at least within like reason. You know what I mean? Which is why I never argued that like Naruto, the whole like Naruto's universal stuff like that, or multi-galaxy or star. I just have no reason to believe that. Also, since that like it's sort of weird, but it's like Kaguya was going to destroy a star within the dimension, but that was because of the hack-based ability of the TSO, of the Eternal TSO. But let's just say Kaguya is star level because of that. Naruto, if he and Sasuke are stronger than her by Boruto, that would mean that they could also be star level. However, Naruto wouldn't have anything in his arsenal, at least as far as I'm aware, that would allow him to destroy a star itself. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so the thing about Blackbeard is then that it took him obtaining 2 of the most powerful devil fruits to gain the power necessary to become a Yonko. However, if you could use Law and Kid as a bridge, I like constantly, for me at least, I like to use characters or bridges to get an idea of how powerful a character is in comparison to one another. I think it's the most consistent way. For example, Law, Luffy, Zoro, Killer, and Kid, they all fought Kaido, Big Mom at the same time, so you can get an idea of where these characters stand as a bridge. You can use Kaido and Big Mom to bridge the gap between the characters. You can also use, like, let's say Big Mom and like King, or Kaido and King, as a bridge between each other, since we know that Yonko just completely outmatch any and all first commanders and commanders beneath them. With Blackbeard, you have an example of Law and Kid, who are narrative equals to one another. They are basically on equal terms in terms of strength. I say it in the video, basically, like, they both landed the same amount of hits, but if you want to go by the anime, Law technically, like, did a couple of sword slashes against Big Mom that cut her. Well, cut her, I mean when, there's no blood that's coming out. Even though you see, like, blood, I guess. She's not bleeding, per se. I don't know. It's weird. So it's then the comparison that, like, again, depending on how you choose to interpret the Kid versus Shanks fight, which is a blitz and a one-shot, it's like an off-guard blitz and one-shot, or if it was just he got in front of him, sliced him, and that one attack was enough, depending on how you choose to interpret it. He one-shot someone as powerful as Law. Meanwhile, Blackbeard versus Law was relatively close until Blackbeard used his second Devil Fruit. So the question was, like, how do you guys think that, like, Blackbeard will catch up to Shanks, or how do you think, because they were talking about how, like, Shanks is eventually going to die, and I mentioned that, like, well, he can't die yet, because if anything, Shanks has to fight Garling, or he has to fight his potential twin brother or family member, whoever the hell that guy that looks like him. Shanks has to fight, like, one of those two guys, right? So Shanks could still die afterwards, I don't know, but for Blackbeard to basically fully surpass Shanks, he would either need an extremely powerful Zoan Devil Fruit, or he would need a ancient weapon. Now, we know that Blackbeard has potential of getting an ancient weapon because of Caribou, who the Blackbeard pirates, Katarina Devon and Van Augur, they teleported with, since he gave them the information about knowing where a ancient weapon was in Wano. Granted, the only person that can actually release the ancient weapon is Momonosuke, and he needs Zunesha for that. So, again, it depends. By the way, during the God Valley incident, Steam Garling went and confronted the pirates, but how strong is his combat ability? He's strong. There's a reason for his strength. Okay. These are good. I like these, by the way. Yeah. There's definitely a double. It's definitely a double for Red Hair. Blackbeard could get a double awakening, though I'm not sure if it'd be interesting to see what, like, the double awakening is, though. Granted, I would argue, me personally, out of, again, nothing even remotely, I have nothing to, like, back this up, by the way, so this is just complete speculation and opinion, but I believe that Blackbeard will only awaken his Yami Yami no Mi. I feel like that's the only one of his devil fruits that he'll probably awaken. You're going to get a lot more bad comments, just like I said. For example, if you say character solos, then I disagree. I can call that still like the comment. 1 second. Let me continue to see. You guys also commented some stuff before I was out, so my apologies, if anything. I pretending to spoil the next Eon vid. I actually have no idea what he's doing. Cool. Oh my god, he's making a Goku versus Doomslayer. If you guys want to see Goku versus Doomslayer, that'd probably be fun. If Bleach was really the fastest and the strongest, why would make up a huge lie like Clyde did? I don't know. I don't know if that's like a big lie that Clyde made. I'd probably like to see like a... I do follow him, so I'd probably like to see like a response for that. I'd like to work with some like of the YouTubers that I've been watching throughout the last couple of years, like Clyde. I'd like to work with Clyde, if anything. If I could ever get in contact with him. Exactly. Red hair Clyde just being Clyde. Those Bleach videos. I don't know about that. I don't know. Okay, given the fact that Law and Kobe teamed up with Blackbeard, does that mean that the current scaling is weird? To team up with an Emperor brings up questions on how strong they could have been. Well, the Rocky Port incidents happened within the 2-year time skip. We don't know exactly what like the means of strength were, and we know that One Piece characters can get exponentially stronger in a very short amount of time. Just look at Wano. Potentially speaking, I don't know what exactly could have caused like a situation where like they would have to, where like Blackbeard would need the help of those two. You could still argue that like Blackbeard would be stronger than Law by that point, especially since, you know, Law would be arguably, allegedly weaker than the version that we met back in Punk Hazard. Granted, I couldn't answer that. But it ultimately does bring up the idea that, like, you know, these characters could have gotten stronger within like the time frame after the Rocky Port incident, but again, I don't know. It also makes sense later how Blackbeard seems familiar with Law's abilities. Yes, he experienced it early in the story. When I think about it, Haki being stronger than Devil Fruit power is cap because Oda lacks because Oda is just lacks imagination when it comes to the way you can use devil fruit powers. I mean, it's not even just that. Like one of the comments that I received in the video was essentially just, well, we know that like Conqueror's Haki Awakening is stronger, but that's absolute bullshit because Luffy awakened Conqueror's Haki and he still got thrashed by Kaido. Then he awakened Gear 5 and oh, look at that. He beat Kaido. Luffy needed Gear 5 to beat Kaido. He wasn't beating Kaido off of just using Advanced Conqueror's Haki. He quite literally hit Kaido with a barrage of Haki-infused punches from Snake Man, and Kaido quite literally just walked it off. Someone who sees them on the same page. What was the comment? I'm a Bleach fan. I just see Bleach fan is also faster in red hair and opinion, so I don't even try to debate him. Kid has terrible Haki, but could fight a Yonko with just an awakening. That's what I'm saying. Like, put it like this. I've argued this before. Kid has probably some of the highest brute force feats in the entire story. Kid has some of the most insane, and I mean stupid, like objectively stupid, insane brute force feats in the fucking manga. Like in the series as a whole. If we're talking about just raw force behind a punch or a hit, I think Kid absolutely outscales most of the fucking series. I'm not even like being facetious. Let's real quick. Where is the Big Mom? Where is the Big Mom thing? We need to go to the Big Mom flashback real quick. Okay. So, in this chapter right here, for example, right? Big Mom is a child. Kid Big Mom, oh, look at her. She's so cute. That devilish little bastard. What was it? One Piece No Color. And then it was like, what, 1039? Yeah, like 1039. I'll go back in a second to read the rest of your comments, guys. Just give me 1 second. By the way, I'll be streaming again on Sunday, likely, just to let you guys know. While the stream is still hot, still has people in it. Okay, so loses, yada yada yada. I need to see. Okay, so it should be. Oh, I clicked a little bit too far back. Kid in Law versus Big Mom. Okay. Okay, so you have Giant Chiefs right here swinging at Big Mom with a sword. Now, whether or not that sword has Haki, it doesn't seem like it, so we won't say that it does. But she, as a child, is able to break apart a sword made for a giant and splits it. What makes this feat more impressive is that she completely tore it in half. Like, it just split down the middle. For those of you that may not know, cracking steel like that, like splitting steel like that with pure force, is not easy. Steel, for the most part, bends because if I remember right, it's the atoms or like the molecules for steel are too condensedly packed. So to shatter steel in that regard, to break it in half, would mean that you have to apply an insane amount of force, and she did that as a child. Likely, she also wasn't using Haki. Yet, right here, Kid is bum-rushing Big Mom with Cornadillo. Mind you, she has Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Her body should be tougher from years of experience. At least her body should be a lot tougher, and he's breaking her limbs. He broke her limbs, and even Law cracked her ribs with Shock Vila. Like, again, Kid is one of the craziest characters if we're just talking about brute force. No Haki, no nothing. Just, I am going to unga bunga, quite literally throw steel beams at you with enough force to shatter your bones. That is crazy. I like them being comparable since it's cross-verse debating, then it's more interesting personally. A Yonko with a double fruit too. Blackspear off-screen Haki is winning every battle for him. Off-screen black Haki is crazy. For example, like your content say Sonic SpongeBob solos anime after. Yeah, I mean, listen, if on screen Bajrangan gets gunned to the sea while Luffy hits the Nika pose. Blackbeard gets double awakening. Yeah, the Blackbeard with double awakening would be kind of crazy. I'd be lying if I said Blackbeard with double awakening wouldn't go crazy. Okay, let me go right here and then I'll go down from there. Oh yeah, getting a lot more bad comments. It's fine. Again, I don't care for the comments. Like, it's fine. I can get comments negatively, being negative for the video. It's fine. The Ace novel implies that Thatch ate the darkness fruit, had to kill him to get it. It could imply that he knows something about devil fruits. It could imply he knows something about devil fruits that others don't. My whole thing with devil fruits is that likely, and my theory behind it is that when you eat a devil fruit and Luffy kind of like especially really promotes this idea for me, especially with the whole like bongo drums that he gets for like Nika. When you eat a devil fruit, your heart, your literal physical heart, becomes the devil fruit itself. Think of it like the devil fruit becoming like a new engine for your body. You know what I mean? Also, Eon, do you think Big Mom's devil fruit would make her OP in the Bleach verse? Considering she can manipulate souls, and if she can scare you, quite literally rip your soul and place it in anything else. There was a video by a guy, it's like a white guy with a beard, I don't remember his name, but he does like a lot of shorts on YouTube. And he always talks about like fun facts about like the SBSs or the cover pages and stuff like that. If somebody knows his name, please put it in the chat. Check him out. He makes fun little little content. Especially for One Piece. He brought up like more disturbing facts about like One Piece, and one of them was that like when Big Mom takes a part of your soul, or when Big Mom takes a person's soul and she imbues it into an inanimate object, that inanimate object is essentially alive. It has a living, breathing soul, and then we've seen those inanimate objects, be it the tree, the giant king tree, etc., or like the door lady. They have their own thoughts, their own feelings. They are alive, and it'd be crazy to think that, like, let's say, I don't know, a random Shinigami, not even one of the captains, some random guy being scared and her just ripping, like, quite literally grabbing his body and then just throwing it into a wall. I think it would be really crazy. Though, granted, it'd be up to how you interpret her abilities to effect. But yeah, they'd have to definitely be like afraid of her. Luffy has to transcend every devil fruit weakness or he's still unfree. That's why I'm saying like the One Piece is 100% going to be like just a striped bathing suit. Like one of those like cartoony old bathing suits, the ones you see from like Tom and Jerry, where it's like just like a shirt. It's either like a armless, like swimming top with like some shorts, or well, a one piece bathing suit. Or that like some like shorts and sleeves and stuff. I don't know. I feel like that's gonna allow Luffy to like truly just surpass all devil fruit weaknesses. Do you think it's better to have top tier hockey or top tier devil fruit with top tier mastery? It depends on the character, and I think it depends on the fruit. Because if you have something like the Nika fruit, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm not going to lie. If you told me I could get Luffy's devil fruit with an awakening, like just automatically unlock Nika fruit, I just have to make sure I'm constantly eating for it, I'm taking the Nika fruit. Now, if we're talking about like most other devil fruits, especially with ones with awakenings that we do know of, like let's say the string fruit, the mochi mochi no mi. I mean, the mochi mochi no mi would be funny because that way I can just always eat mochi, but probably get sick of this stuff. I definitely pick hockey. It's a devil fruit. It's a per character type of thing. Like I would like to have honestly the ope ope no mi as well. I think that devil fruit would be so much fun to like just mess around with stuff. You know what I mean? Like just teleport. Like, oh, just make a room inside my house, go use the bathroom, then teleport to the kitchen real quick, then go back, like in case I need to like check on the food or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they'd respond in his community tab. I'll check it out then. I'll check out the community tab thing for Clyde later then. Before you watch the Zoro versus Kid video or anything else, I want to understand how many people. Let's not get mad at them. It's fine. No. I don't get upset like over people's comments and stuff like that. Hey, what's good, Matali? Hockey for me, it's already so busted and we haven't seen the true peak of it yet. I agree. Hockey in terms of like a ceiling, I would say goes higher. I would 100% say hockey would have a potentially higher ceiling. Granted, I'm someone who grew up watching like Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes a lot, so I would just love to like I don't know, grab a tree in front of my house and stuff like that and just turn it in and just do wild stuff with it. I don't know, it's so funny to me. What's the strongest non-mythical Zoan devil fruit? Probably one of the non-mythical Zoan devil fruits. Probably one of the prehistoric ones. I'm stuck on Marineford arc. Don't spoil any episode yet. Nah, you're fine. We're not going to spoil anything. He's also needed a hockey or else Kaido would have just melted him. That's true. Top tier Logia with top tier mastery is better, I think. Kid with just brute strength is literally on par with Luffy. I would argue that, like, in terms of just raw brute strength, Kid, in my opinion, it just hits harder than Luffy. Like, again, no hockey, nothing, just hit the person as hard as you can without applying hockey. I think Kid's probably stronger. Kaido had better hockey experience and fruit pre-awakened Luffy, though. Yeah, that is true. So it's like Conqueror's Hockey versus Conqueror's Hockey. It's like, I don't know, the awakened Devil Fruit is the difference. That is fair. Got one shot. Luffy surpassed him already. Luffy does have his own. Saw one theory that the reason why Loki's called the Accursed Prince is because of Big Mom. Right after he was born, Big Mom went on a hunger pang. Probably seemed like bad luck for the Giants. Probably. Actually, no, he should have been around longer than Big Mom. I think he's been sealed away for longer than she's been alive. Do you know Blackbeard is the son of Captain Rook Pirate, as Whitebeard betrayed the crew for rocks? Lost his father, dies, so he betrayed. I don't know if he's related to the Rocksteady Zebek at all. You could be right. I'm not. There's nothing that even remotely implies it, though. In this area, up and end of the year, they do a Ruby versus Maka from Soul Eater. I think Maka from Soul Eater obviously wins. I only watch Soul Eater. I have no idea where the scaling goes. That's why the Emeralds are so peak, because they have strong Logias. Do you think Bleach is overrated as Universal? I think Bleach as a whole is okay. I don't know, like, again, depending on how you choose to interpret feats, it's like with the whole Naruto being Universal thing. If you take certain statements as hyper literally, you're gonna get a character to Universal, no problem. Bleach definitely uses statements to hyperbole to scale it up. Bleach fans use statements. I mean, they're allowed to use statements. Yeah, they're allowed to use statements. Zoro versus Big Mom. Zoro gets thrashed by Big Mom. It's not even close. Zoro is not surviving a fight against Big Mom. Even like post-Egghead, Zoro is not surviving a fight against Big Mom. Solo, he's not. I don't think he's doing this to Big Mom. I don't think he's doing that to Big Mom. I'm going to be honest. Yes, Ukiura is planetary, but it can only destroy a star as Los Angeles through calcs. Okay. Wait, no, that's not it. Put this down. Let's put that down. We need to put up this right here. The Magu Magu no Mi. Luffy being forced to be Blackbeard with at least 2 Devil Fruits and already strong Haki while not being able to rely on his Nika Fruit will be undeniable proof that Haki transcends all. I actually had this discussion with that chat where I'm like, Blackbeard's going to get an overpowered fruit. Blackbeard's 100% going to get an overpowered Zoan fruit. Who knows where it'd be. Mr. Morge's video from last night, if you guys have, from like a couple days ago, I watched it last night. If you guys haven't seen it, I would recommend watching the most recent video that Mr. Morge made. Essentially, he goes into the idea that, like, if Loki has a mythical Zoan fruit, which we don't know yet, but if he does, it would finish off one of the most powerful, it would finish off the trio of the powerful Devil Fruits that Blackbeard would likely have to obtain, and he would likely show up to Elbaf somehow to try and get the Devil Fruit, which would honestly, again, give him the edge. Either that, again, or the Ancient Weapon. So then my thing is that, like, okay, Blackbeard, like I said before, I have nothing to go off of this, but considering who he is, I would assume that Blackbeard would probably awaken his Devil Fruit. If anything, he would awaken just the Yami Yami no Mi, which would give us a Loki awakening. The Yami Yami no Mi awakening would likely just remove or release all Devil Fruit abilities, in my opinion, because of the way that, like, darkness is gravity and all that stuff works. I would imagine that, like, he's able to quite literally force everybody to not so much kneel, but he can force people down, like when he does his black hole. You know, like when, like, he pulls things in, but people themselves don't get pulled in. I think that, like, that would also force people to, like, basically succumb to him. Maybe he can even absorb other people, not so much their abilities and stuff like that, but he can take them in. I theorize that by the end of the series, whether or not Blackbeard is the true final villain or it's Emu, because my theory for, like, Blackbeard getting an overpowered Zoan awakening fruit, if Emu isn't an actual devil or the will of the ocean itself, then Blackbeard, if he doesn't get it from Loki, he likely gets it from Emu, since Emu's shown transformation abilities, so likely a Zoan. And then that would mean that Blackbeard would have Emu's fruit, Whitebeard, and his own Darkness Devil Fruit. And at that point, the only thing that Luffy can use, if let's say Luffy beats Emu with, like, the Nika awakening and everything, all cool, everybody's happy and shit like that, and then Blackbeard, like, comes out of nowhere and either takes Emu's powers or has the Loki Devil Fruit or whatever, then I could honestly see, like, while everybody else is being, like, forced down, Luffy's Haki would be strong enough to still resist Blackbeard, and then it would just be, again, Haki transcends all. Luffy doesn't. It would also be a way to prove that, like, Luffy can get to the position that he's at without needing his Devil Fruit. He has demonstrated that he has the capabilities to, again, transcend all by having by having haki that is much more powerful than everyone else's. But again, that's just my thing, though. He scarred Kaido, though. Scarring Kaido, here's the thing. I'll put it like this. If I had to choose between someone scarring me and someone breaking my arm, I'm 100% choosing to scar. You can't convince me that scarring someone is more impressive, especially when that scar is the upper extent of his limits. If you guys want to, I'm not going to do the whole Zoro versus Eustace Kid law bullshit right here. The video's right there. I say it all in the video. But I'm going to put it like this. If Zoro says, and I quote, let me look it up real quick. If Zoro says, and I quote, what I'm about to do is the limit of my ability. If this right here is the limit of his ability, and he says, I couldn't even knock, I was hoping I'd at least knock you off your feet, that is not as impressive as Eustace Kid quite literally ramming Big Mom, ramming his thing into Big Mom so hard, he not only knocks her down, so that's already won over Zoro, he, again, breaks her arm. A scar is not, yeah, it does, I don't care about the scars. A scar is not as impressive as literally breaking someone's arm. I don't know. Who's more durable, Kaido or Big Mom? Kaido's more durable, but he only made the scar slightly larger than it already was. Kaido has the same scar still, it's just bigger. He just made the scar slightly bigger. Devil Fruit changed your genetics, not just your body. It's down to your DNA. That's why haki would work across verses, since Devil Fruits are natural abilities. Okay, Gojo versus Kaido. That's like saying Gojo versus GER. I mean, it's not the same thing, but Mihawk versus Yamamoto? Mihawk versus Yamamoto? I have no Mihawk feats, and Yamamoto's kind of crazy. The scar is permanent injury. The broken arm isn't. Yeah, a permanent injury that didn't affect Kaido in the slightest bit throughout any of it, and Big Mom had to literally use her soul powers to fix it. You're not gonna make a good argument for it. Scarring Kaido is not as impressive. I'm sorry. Also, this version of Big Mom is stronger than the one that was fighting on par with Kaido. Think of this version of Big Mom like Kaido's version 2 transformation, where he gets the more dragonic features and the darker like hue to his scales. This is basically that version of Big Mom. Hey, what's up, Mr. Dens? Like, I don't know. Again, you don't have to disagree. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. There's just no argument that I think could be made. Like, cool, he scarred Kaido. Cool. Kaido was not even remotely bothered by it. Big Mom had to use her powers to heal her arm. I don't know. Came from 20 years of trauma. 20 years of trauma. That's true. True. This is my lucky day. Okay. Kid/Law over Zoro. Yeah, that's basically where I'm at. In skill, yes. In power, no. Mihawk next Bleach because they have swords. Bleach is the strongest swordsman in the universe. You are 100% right, Vert. Alright. There's also a parallel with Whitebeard, Katakuri, and Luffy. Luffy needs to reach Katakuri's level of Devil Fruit Mastery, then reach Whitebeard's level where he no longer relies on his Devil Fruit no longer relies on his Devil Fruit. I feel like Luffy still relies a lot on his Devil Fruit, but I think it's because more than anyone else, and I really do mean this for Luffy, more than anyone else, I feel like Luffy has to rely on the way that his Devil Fruit works. Like, his entire combat style is quite literally designed just around him using the Gum Fruit to, like, use the elasticity to, like, increase the force of his punches and stuff. Six Paths Ramen Guy, that's a character that's not canon. Well, you mean the Sage of the Six Bowls? The Sage of the Six Bowls solo's all a fiction. I'm sorry. Even Sonic the Hedgehog's not beating him. Alright, guys. Let's read some manga. I'm ready to read some manga. So, let's put it up in the comments, and then whatever comes out, like, in whatever order in terms of, like, what should we read first? Whatever comes out in terms of, like, the order of, like, you know, percentages and stuff, we'll read in that order. What should we read first? Brurok. Blue PowerPoint lock. Kengan never getting animated Omega. I feel like Kengan Omega is not getting animated for like 10 years. Especially at the rate we're getting Kengan Asura. Man, it sucks. And then I saw an interesting theory that said Blackbeard could possibly steal Luffy's Devil Fruit, but Luffy's able to use Nika's abilities without it after learning about it. Don't think it'll happen, but still, that's interesting. And then Kagura Bachi. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to scale Kagurabachi next year. I could probably make like a video or two on it, like I've been doing for like what's his face? Like I've been doing for JJK, but it's I'd have to like really sit down and like study it. Okay. So while you guys do that, I'll be back in just a second. We'll choose the order from there on out. I also have to like get there is no way Spy Family only has 107 chapters. There's no way it only has 107 chapters, bro. How the hell did this thing only have 107 chapters and it's already gotten like 2 seasons? All right, that's crazy. Oh yeah, no, the ramen guy is crazy. Buggy versus ramen guy versus Kon, who wins? If we're talking about Buggy D Clown, he's stronger than Mihawk, which would give him light speed. Oh wait, like massive FTL reaction time and combat speed and everything. That'd be crazy. Kon, what version of Kon are we talking about? As for ramen guy, I mean, he has creation of all noodles. So, creation of all noodles, for those of you that may not know, allows him to essentially create truth-seeking orb-like strands that move and wrap themselves around the opponent like giant noodle tentacles. And they're also like basically incalculable in terms of speed. Like essentially, if even the thought of him touching you with one of his noodles will happen, even if the noodle itself doesn't touch you, it'll always happen because of causality. Like, as powerful as I think Buggy is, and as fast as I think he is, because I think Buggy D Clown should be faster than the Sage of the Six Bowls. I don't know if he'd be able to be. I mean, again, it's incalculable speed for the truth-seeking noodles. Oh man, creation of all noodles is crazy. I think, depending on the Kon version that we're talking about, Kon might be the upset here. Cause like, okay, Buggy starts off the fight, he activates his awakening, basically splits everything apart, including atoms, causing giant molecular explosions. If we're talking about, like, the Sage of Six Noodles, I don't know if he would be able to withstand his atoms being torn to shreds. However, he should have the durability off of his scaling with Shibai Otsutsuki, which would then mean that he should be working at a higher dimensionality tier, but it's unknown whether or not, like, higher dimensions understand the concepts of, like, you know, matter. Which, if it does, then he might, I don't know, I'd have to give it to the Sage of the Six Bowls. I'd have to give it to the Sage of the Six Bowls. It's too crazy not to. None of them know about what Kaido reached Greenford's greatest fan manga ever. You see a One Piece older Q&A, Mr. Dancy. What proof you have it? Obviously, Buff Cone. But the thing is, like, Buff Cone has, like, endless durability. Like, you cannot hurt Buff Cone. Like, his muscle fibers are so tightly compact that their atoms cannot, that the matter itself that compromises his muscle fibers can't be affected. So he should be unaffected by Buggy's awakening atomization. But the thing is that, like, Buggy's awakening also splits fiction itself. Like, it'll split the actual pages apart. I don't remember if you guys read the manga chapters, but apparently it came out, like, and this has happened, like, you know, years ago. You guys probably can't find it anymore, even if you try to Google it. But, like, when those manga chapters came out, like, Shonen Jump actually, like, had the pages literally cut apart. They had to, like, wrap up the books specifically, because otherwise, like, some of the pages that, like, Buggy used were actually just torn to shreds. You could only basically open up the page once, and if even like a slight breeze touched it, you would essentially blow away the entire page. That's how powerful Buggy's awakening is. It just tears apart the page itself. Like, Oda said it. Oda told me in an interview. Yeah, Oda told me, like, on a phone call. He texted me that stuff. That's how I know it. Oh, man. Buff Cone never got acknowledged by Yuhabak, so it means his existence transcends the Almighty. That is true. But the Almighty is limited in that, like, it can only see futures, while, yeah, Cone lives in past, present, and future, which means, yeah, the Almighty wouldn't be able to see it anyway. Great story, completely fit with story. Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so I'll be back in just a second, guys. Blue Lock and Kagurabachi are tied. When I'm back, I will check this out real quick, and we'll start reading. Okay, guys? I'll be back in just a second. Okay, we're back. 38 for Blue Lock. Cool. Okay, so we'll start with Blue Lock. We'll go to Kengan Omega and then Kagurabachi just because that's the way I've written it. This live is a plan of Aizen's. Probably is a plan of Aizen's. I don't know. I hate that meme so much. That the whole like, oh, Aizen planned it. I don't know why. That meme like irks me. Okay. As a general rule, all organisms are born after receiving half of their mother and father's genes. Okay. We're getting a biology lesson. However, there are occasionally copy errors, and a child is born with a trait that neither of his parents possess. I've got a wiggly bit. For example, extreme smallness, you're all so big. Height, so tall. Ooh, wait, let's go back. Hit something. Okay. Speed, zoom, or sensitivity of feelings. In most cases, that child, you're weird, is singled out for being different or cannot compete with others, and so is called out without passing on their genes. Game over. But in very rare instances, that trait happens to be advantageously suitable to their environment. I can eat fruit in high places. There's no more food down here. Wow, that's great. Amazing. The gene proliferates through selection, through natural selection. All of my kids have long necks, huh? Yeah. And their trait that was once a mutation becomes a new standard for the species. Now everybody has a long neck. These genetic cycles repeat over and over until the original species has become a totally different creature. I grew arms. Cool. This is evolution. Wow, I had no idea. So it's basically like how Pichu turns into Pikachu, right? Henri-chan, foolish adults who stop studying will get culled out by natural selection. That's crazy. He really said... He really said natural selection will get you. That's so crazy. He really said you will die to natural selection. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely couldn't be me. Sun said people like you are those that history will forget. Right, I'll do better. But how can you treat Henri like that, bro? Henri is quite literally best girl in all of Blue Lock. What connection does evolution have to soccer? Well, this is just my personal theory, but theory about talent, but the various evolutions human society undergoes are essentially the same as this. Humans are born with traits that others lack and have a hard time being understood and live difficult lives, but that might be a gene that will cause humanity to evolve. Those areas of differentiation produce unique expressions of body and mind, and there are some people who can cast those expressions out into the world. And amidst them, there are some revolutionary expressions which are suitable for the era and circumstances. We are reading Blue Lock, or as some would consider as of now, Blue Point Lock. Blue PowerPoint Lock. And these changes can... Oh, and these can change the world's standards. New sound, new stories, new phone. The ones with those seeds are what I call geniuses. But to present society that innovation, weirdo, you make no sense, so cringe, is never something that a genius can achieve on their own. You're a genius. Someone needs to discover the seeds, comprehend its worth, well, this is amazing, huh? And be able to communicate it to the world. By boosting its feasibility and reproducibility, they turn it into a new world standard. The new ones who do that are called the talented learners. I see. The talent mutations that geniuses have eventually become common. That's the same as the genetic evolution you explained earlier. Right. I think that's how humans' culture has continued to evolve. The same is true for soccer. The mutant geniuses with abnormal physical abilities and incredible plays become singularity points. And by analyzing the geniuses and then forming new tactics or using data to counter them, the talented learners develop plays using a new kind of logic. That's how soccer has evolved. That's the formula for evolution. Yeah. Now open your eyes, Yoichi Isagi. The world doesn't just revolve around geniuses. Geniuses and talented learners share the stage. And talented learners like you have their own path to become the world's best. Restart. Okay, let's go. There's no way I can defeat a genius. The absurd plays that geniuses make are impossible for me to try and pull off on the spot. I can't even imagine it. Wait, actually, I think I might have always fought as a talented learner. Blind spot, two-gun direct shot, luck. That and that weapon and that moment. I'd analyze somebody's talents, copy it, and make my own arrangements based on predictions. I've stolen from everyone else and still barely scrape by. I don't have enough originality to create something from zero. I'm a genuine second-rate, talented learner. The game is just revolving around the geniuses. The world is waiting for another super goal. Nobody's gonna pass to a second-rate like me. I need to steal it myself. Huh? No. This is on a whole nother level. I don't have a chance in hell. Between me and them lies an unsurpassable genetic wall of talent. God is so unfair. How unfair can you be, you shitty God? Michael Kaiser, huh? Kaiser, why did he say that I was thinking? Why did he say what I was thinking? Bullshit, you're a genius like them, aren't you? Unlike me, you're holding on your own against the other geniuses. Wait. Couldn't be that you're a talented learner too? Holy shit! Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Essentially, what Ego is saying is that in a stage where geniuses are allowed to flourish, especially ones where now their talents are well known and where they essentially have advantages that others cannot reproduce on their own through just physical capabilities, someone like Isagi and, by extension, Kaiser have to learn to play around that shit. God, I love fucking Blue Lock. God, I love Blue Lock. Holy shit. Oh, man. Okay. That was a good chapter. Man, that was a really good chapter. Holy shit. I'm excited to see exactly... I imagine that, like, at least within, like, the next 2-3 chapters, we'll get a... Okay, so now it's Kagurabachi. Okay, so you guys want to see Kagurabachi instead? So we'll go straight into that. That's so interesting, though. God, that was so interesting. Let me just make sure I haven't... Okay, I haven't read this yet. Man, I really love Blue Lock's style of writing. It essentially gives you like the idea, or at least it gives you like the layout, the building blocks to understand how you can improve at almost any trade or any hobby or skill. I'm gonna be honest with you. As I told my friends, like, I got better at playing so many video games just because I used Blue Lock as a filter. You know, like seeing what others were doing and then being able to replicate it in a sense and then reproduce certain talents. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that I can do better than my friends, even if they're better than me overall at a game. But it really is interesting to see that, like, okay, what exactly am I missing that everybody else is doing? And then how can I do my best to achieve said result? I'd like to see you check out Kubera Last God, super on the radar. Super under the radar. I could check it out. I could give it at least like a look at. Okay. I'm sure you can sense this yourself. Spirit energy exhaustion is different from physical exhaustion. 30 minutes is just the minimum of recovery time you'll need to use your sorcery again without risk. It's only been about 10 minutes. It could damage your brain, so you could never use sorcery again. Worst case, you die. Oh, it's a lot like cursed energy then. Well, cursed energy in the sense of like you can damage your brain, you're basically done for. It's Shihiro. Apparently all of the enemy's forces are focusing on Senkutsuji Temple. If that's true, we need to evacuate you quickly. Fura, get these two to the emergency exit. Right. What about Mr. Samura? We'll join him in battle, whether he likes it or not. Please, if he's fighting, the best thing to do is nothing. But if we join him, never mind that. The situation's changed. Leave it to them. The Makizumi are a special force dedicated to Mr. Samura. Commander, wake up. Just a little more. I need a rest. I'm a growing boy. Physically, anyway. Get up. Your master's in danger. Do you want him to die? I'm gonna need to get fired up. I'm crying. I'm crying. Those are, candy cigarettes. Ugh, you're swarming like maggots. Get down here so I can exterminate you. We're not idiots. It takes special tactics to battle a legendary warrior. Okay? Explosions and smoke. Even when we distract his senses, he still picks up on hostile energy. Well then, Swing, swing. Cool. The Pine. He can't react to something with no will. Ooh, okay. We'll use its Indulation. Those sonic booms, they are using them against Mr. Samura. All this noise must be done with Mr. Samura's echolocation abilities. He can detect the enemy through a synthesis of acute attunement to sound and smell and hostile energy. If we join the battle, we'll make it worse. Our familiar smells will mix with the gunpowder and smoke and confuse him. If we fight, we'll make sounds and give off hostile energy. We'll get mixed up with the enemy. In worst case, Mr. Samura could shut it. You'll get yourselves killed. But they have special techniques. Only them. Stealth. They use the ninja arts. They've neutralized their sense, and during battle, they nullify all sound and hostile energy. Thus, they don't exist on Mr. Samura's battlefield. Without interfering with his ability to detect the enemy, they simply remove obstacles through these special techniques. The enemy is being diminished. This is, hey, it's you guys. Bingo. Well, you're gonna do this. Just don't get yourselves killed. They're the only ones who can fight alongside Mr. Samura. Kamunabi Ninja Force, Elite Samura Bodyguards. Cool. Hey, Chad, has Eon seen the first question? It's the SBS Luvic creating goggles. I've seen it, 4Z-chan. I've seen it. I still don't know what it means, so I'm not gonna make any statements on it yet. We just gotta get more. We either gotta get more statements from either other SBSs or something in the manga has to show up to really get an idea of what it means. I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm not gonna develop an opinion on it. But if anything, it just means that Gear 5 can just get a lot crazier than we originally thought. This way. Okay. Can we withstand all the enemy's forces? We're dwindling. At this rate, there's only one way, but we're too overwhelmed. If we just had even one more fighter. They're back. Exits block 2. How wonderful. Like lambs to slaughter. Yeah, I have to fight too. If we join the battle, we'll make it worse. We'll get mixed in. What's he doing? He'll get himself killed. EI White Purity style. How many times do you think I've watched your technique? Uruha, you son of a... He anticipates Mr. Samura's swordplay. He joined the fight knowing he'd be mistaken for the enemy. That was close. Oh, okay. Wait. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's how I interpret it too. Yeah. It's interesting to see where we'll be going from here. I find it interesting as to what Oda exactly has planned for Gear 5 and if it really has reality manipulation abilities or actual dream imagination come to life type shit. If it does, then I'll there's just no reason for me to even argue it anymore, just debate it anymore. Just Luffy is one of the craziest characters in manga. Not the strongest, just the craziest. The mandala. What's it good for? It's a transport mandala. It'll take you to the front of the Senkutsuji. It's not far, but with the fighting concentrated in here, it should be enough for you to escape. We've got to get you and 2 sword bearers out of here. What about you guys? We've got to keep their attention focused on the inside of the temple. We'll stay here and fight. You mean... It's true. The Hishaku have invested all of their dispensable forces here, then that's good for us. If we can protect the sword bearers while exhausting the Dantenseki weapons, they'll make a big difference. It'll buy us time for you to recover. Even if we sacrifice ourselves, that's our job. I'm the only one who hasn't risked his life yet. Oh man, I love this guy. Yo, this guy right here is the Sorry guys. Oh man, I fucking love this guy. Oh, man. I keep forgetting his name. Love this guy. Love him. Absolutely wavy. Absolutely top of the... Yeah, top of my list. Top 3 favorite characters. What do you think about the all-new Kizaru agenda? Kizaru agendaists? Agenda enthusiasts? Yes, Kagurabachi. Kizaru enthusiasts, the agenda holders, they still don't have an argument. It doesn't mean anything. I brought it up with chat. I actually had the chapters up here somewhere. We can go to it a little bit since you got here a little bit late. 4Z channel, good. Right here. Kizaru's on the ground. Nobody sees him. Everybody is focused on what's-his-face. See how everybody is quite literally looking in this direction and like nobody's paying attention to Luffy? It's either Sentomaru, everybody's looking at Saturn, etc. And like Luffy's on the ground, nobody's paying attention to Kizaru. It's like, oh, who gave Luffy food? What could it have been? I mean, he simply, literally, if nobody's paying attention to Kizaru, why should I believe that like Kizaru blitzed all of them? It's one of those situations where it's like, I feel like you're being a little bit disingenuous if you're saying that like, oh yeah, Kizaru speed blitzed the whole thing, he's the fastest character in the verse, etc. When it's like, well, no, there's context behind it. In every single panel that you see somebody looking at Saturn or the others, nobody is paying attention to Luffy and nobody's paying attention to Kizaru. I have no reason to believe that like any like Kizaru agenda. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, guys, we'll watch the Kagurabachi. Not Kagurabachi. We'll watch. Agenda doesn't care about context. Agenda doesn't have to care about context, but ultimately, if I'm going to have a discussion with anybody about it, they're going to have to care. They're going to have to care, or there's just not going to be a discussion at all. Like I always say, if you're willing to have a conversation about something, it's fine. Then, understand the other person's points, hear them out, and understand that, there might be context or nuance behind a situation. If somebody's just yelling, no, it's light speed, fastest character in the verse, yada, 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 fuck the context, all right, fine. We don't need to have the discussion then. Wouldn't Ken detect it, or why would Luffy attack Kizaru when he should be able to detect Kizaru giving him food? Oh, Kenbu Shoku Haki. Okay, well, it's a thing that you turn on and off, and nobody here is in a position right now where, like, they need to have their Haki active. I mean, who here really needs to have their Haki active? I'm not saying, it sounds a bit weird, but it's like, he's holding Bonnie. She's the only person here that's even remotely being rowdy. Everybody else is like stopped. And even with like Kenbun Shoku no Haki, these are vice admirals. Why should any of these guys even scale to like? Why should any of these guys, even if they have like their observation Haki active? What makes you or anybody else think that like, oh, Kizaru can't blitz them specifically? Like, your observation Haki is relative to your actual speed. You can't have Haki that, like, allows you to sense another person if they're just that much faster than you. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I believe that Kizaru is just straight up faster than everybody else there. I don't think Saturn would have his Haki active. I don't think, Saturn would have his Haki active in a situation where there's no reason to have it active. There's nobody there as a threat at this point. So, I don't know. It's up to interpretation, depending on who you are. 132 kilograms, that's like over 260 pounds. Holy shit. Okay. A difference in weight class means a different scale of strength. Okay. Usually that is. Boom. Okay. Right hook from Gaolong. A double right straight. But the style of punch seemed more like karate than boxing. What do you make of this, Jerry? Yes, you're right on the money, Miss Sayaka. And that's what makes it all the more surprising. It's been one surprise after another. Kano's demonstrated a hell of a growth over the past 2 matches, but Gaolong ain't been no slouch neither. He's a real killer. Oh, chat, who do you guys think is going to take it between Gaolong and Agito Kano, the Fang of Mitsuda? Most works of fiction tend to use public combat athletes as jobbers, but that's because they're strong in real life. It shouldn't be a surprise that Gaolong's strong. Fury is arrows, and arrows is wrath. The words are just spilling out of my pen. Long hair, dude? So you think Gaolong wins. Gaolong closing the distance. Here comes the elbow. Okay, kick, but he forced him back with the front kick. Simply astounding. Gaolong Wong Sawat's essence can be called neither boxing nor Muay Thai any longer. If I had to call it something, it would be Gaolong style all-around striking technique. That is so cool. That like you basically just develop your own form of striking. That's so cool. That's so cool. I can't tell anymore which one of them is stronger. Now they're back to feeling each other out. He's taking a low stance and went straight for it. Have you already read Blue Lock? I have, and I really like the chapter. I really like seeing the parallel between Isagi and Kaiser, though Kaiser being a Kaiser being a talented learner is interesting to me just because it's like he does have essentially a weapon of his own that only he can produce in terms of like just genius capabilities. He has the Kaiser impact, and the Kaiser impact on its own is a massive like weapon that others just cannot replicate, and it's completely genetic. It's kind of hard to say. The latest video of Arcane. Sure, I can check it out. Yeah, Kaiser's a genius. I feel like Kaiser's, if anything, like the closest thing to a mix between being a talented genius and a talented learner and a genius, like Isagi. Okay, knee to the face, morphs around. It's the formless style. Hits him. Oh shit, formless. Still misses. Morphs around. This is just scary to watch. What kind of a fight even is this? Doesn't Kowloon have the upper hand? Sure, it may look like Kowloon's on the offensive, but Kano's using the formless style to divert all the blows. One wrong move and the damage could be massive. Yeah, that's true. Kano also knows Nico style, so he could be using redirection kata at this point. That's so interesting. Okay, he's taking on imaginable risks just to grapple him. Formless? Amazing, simply amazing. His ironclad defenses are blocking any attempts at a grapple, but Kano don't look like he's taking damage. You're telling me he dodged all that? Oh my god, he's bleeding from his face. Guess he did get hit after all. Still, doesn't the damage seem fairly light considering how relentless the attack was? I thought I diverted them all. But his right is something else. Yeah, Kowloon has a mean right hook. I don't think you can necessarily like block or stop Kowloon's right hook without at least taking a little bit of damage. This right fist was the one that Kano Agito once shattered. But he revived it through maddening training. Now Kano is facing it once again, having become even more powerful than before. Calling it a resurgence or perhaps karmic backlash would be more appropriate. That's so crazy. Kaiser and Isagi teaming up is as unbelievable as saying a wolf and a rabbit teaming up. I agree with that. They're moving like slime. Art style looks real good. Yeah, I agree, 4Z. I agree. Let's see how strong Naruto Ramen Guy really is. 6 people in the chat hyping it up. He was born in a village in extreme poverty. His parents passed away when he was young. There was only one way he could support his brothers and sisters: kill and steal or fight and win. Muay Thai was a means of survival. He fought as much as 4 times a week, all for the pittance of fight money. He defeated everyone who stood in his way. He had to keep winning if he wanted to keep living. I would have died as just another nameless warrior if he hadn't saved me. Oh no! God Glow. Oh, God Glow is such a cool fucking name. Not to the fucking face. Wait. He sacrificed his left arm. Impossible. He blocked that? No fucking way. Dragon shot. Oh man. No. We have to like look back at that. Let's go back real quick. Okay. So, from this interaction alone, it seems like, yeah, there's no way he could have blocked that. I feel like it was a last second, yeah, it had to be like a last second reaction that Kano did. He had to sacrifice his left arm and use Formless. He does know Nico style, so he likely used a form of the redirection kata to basically put all the damage to his left arm. He had to sacrifice his left arm. Granted, there is no way Kowloon goes out of this dragon shot without taking a full brunt to the hit. There's no way Kowloon didn't at least suffer good damage from this dragon shot. Man, I'm definitely more of a manga reader at this point. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Could you imagine like we get Kengan Omega and it's just fucking Blue Lock 2.0? It's just fucking... Oh man, I don't know what I would do. Oh man, I don't know what I could possibly do if like 5 years from now we get Kengan Omega and then just all of a sudden the animation is basically just moving sideshow panels, bro. Like something from the Picto chat in from like the Nintendo DS. I'd be so upset. I haven't watched Kengan nor read it, but from the looks of it, it's fucking dope. It's really good. I would recommend the anime, unless you don't care for like 3D characters with 2D animation, but the anime and Netflix, it actually is pretty consistent with the manga in terms of like the attacks that they do. I was surprised at one of the fights that they did versus this guy named Julius and one of his opponents. Not the first opponent, but the second opponent. I would 100. I would. Isn't Kengan? Yeah, it's 3D animated with cel shaded graphics for the fighters, but everybody else that isn't a fighter is in 2D style. I would 100% recommend Kengan Omega and Kengan Asura, but Kengan Asura at first, if you like a show like that, and it has just as high level combat. That was so interesting. Okay, so somebody else mentioned if I wanted me to check out something. I think it was what are we reading? Sweet. Agenda context. Somebody had asked if I wanted to read another series real quick. If you guys can just let me know. It's a webtoon. Okay. If I can find it here, I'll definitely read it. If you could just type it up for me again real quick, please. Oh, Kubera Last God. Okay. Kubera... Is it this one? One Last God. When Kubera's peaceful village meets its fiery end, a mysterious magician named Asha comes to rescue. Together, they begin on a journey in search of answers and revenge. Meanwhile, across the realms, a web of entwined fates is growing tighter. One by one, other players in the game will emerge, each of which have an agenda to pursue. At the end of the maelstrom stands Kubera, a girl with a god's name. Will the 16-year-old be the salvation of the world or its destruction? Okay, I'll have to switch it though to a long strip since I'm sure that... Okay. Solitude. What did that say? Loss, solitude, force, opportunity. Promise, enemy, revenge, transcendency, justice, responsibility, protection, love, and be it the integers, let x and y be rational numbers. We defined a dilation. Well, I'm not reading all that bullshit. Shoot, what does that mean? I don't understand. Oh, damn, sorry. I keep forgetting I don't have to click right. Very, very long, very deep, very complex. I'll give it one chapter. This is a story with comedy about a girl with a god's name. She's the main character for now. And a mysterious magician. Magician. Stuck between Sura and God, an unemployed idiot. I'm not a fan of the art style. I will say that. It seems very... I can't say I can draw any better, but it definitely gives me more like, you know, those images that you'd see off of like a person drawing off, you know, like paper and stuff and like DeviantArt. This is mixed genre fantasy. The door of the first adventure opens. Okay. Familiar fragrance, familiar coziness, and a familiar voice. Bera. Kubera. What but an unfamiliar name? A girl with a god's name. Kubera. Time to wake up. You're supposed to make lunch today. I skipped breakfast because of you. This is how I survived. Autobiography of Rao Lees, the last survivor. It's already noon. I'm starving. Mom's birthday. My birthday. You need to wake up. You're not Sleeping Beauty. Come on, Kubera. Ugh. Dear God, please make Kaz shut up. Kubera, wake up. Arg, I'm up. Shut up. I'll fold you in half and send you down the river if you don't shut up. Finally, it's quiet. Why am I so cranky today? It feels so stuffy and uncomfortable. It feels like I leveled up a character horribly and didn't realize until later that I had to remake it. I don't know what I'm saying. Dun. Huh? A box? Aha! My birthday gift. I guess it's from my mom. What could it be? A letter? Happy birthday, Kubera. Today will be the last day I call you by that name. You can choose your own name starting tomorrow. Once you choose your new name, you can go live anywhere out of the village. Since you've been in this small village for 15 years, you will see and hear more things than any other people. Since I want to congratulate you on your first step towards the outside world, I've prepared clothes for you with a very famous wizard made. Which a very famous wizard made. No amount of money could buy this. I only got it because of Rowan. You should say thank you to Rowan. From Mom, the one who loves you the most in this world. I also love you the most in this world. Mom! Hey, sweetie, you're up. Would you go get some mushrooms? I love you. What do you love? Don't tell me you love my big belly. Ha, you got me. Haha. Hey, my belly is not bad for my age. Speak for yourself. Nah, I'm sorry. Go quickly. Kaz has been waiting for you for a while. You should also go and say hello to Rowan on the way. to get some mushrooms. Yeah, Mom, I'll get mushrooms. I'll get a lot of mushrooms. And I really like the clothes. Thanks, Mom. See you later. Take care, sweetheart. Click. Creak. Clink. Hey, Kubota, do you know how long I've been waiting for you? How could you sleep that long? Enough, just give me my birthday gift. You will die if it's something cheap. Don't worry about that. I bought this with gold. Really? What is it? Guess. It's something you really need. Let me think. What do I need? Princess dresses, new cosmetics, a big curry bear doll. A big curry bear doll? Okay. Well, I like mushrooms better, though. Haha, you're wrong. Ta-da! Curry Bear Math Series Season 3 Multiplication. Recommended age 6. You'll have to go to school when you get out of this town with your new name, but you'll be embarrassed if you don't know math. So what do you think? Am I good or what for even thinking this far? Did she punch him away? Oh, shit. I don't know. Kubera Last God. I have no clue yet. Huh. Stupid Kaz. Never want to see him again. How come you always end up like this, bro? Haha. Let's just go and get another gift. Rowan, it's Kubera. Huh? I heard you got me these clothes. I really appreciate it. I mean, they're cute. You're welcome, but I just have a few magician friends, that's all. It's your mom who paid for it. You look really good in those clothes. I mean, you were pretty, but you look prettier than usual. Yeah, you look beautiful. I've got a good figure, you know. Haha. Hey, I think the clothes are too small for her, especially her top. Do you think the clothes make her has enough time to do tailoring? I mean, still, it looks like a thread will rip at any time. They're expensive clothes, so don't worry about it ripping. You guys should come to my house. I'll get lots of mushrooms and we'll have a nice birthday party. Mushrooms? I don't think you can get much right now. A lot of people have gone for mushrooms recently, so there won't be much left. To find them, you'll have to go into the deep woods, but it's dangerous. Well, don't worry about that. We'll only look around along the bright path. If I can't find any, then I'll just settle for some cake. Yeah, don't go too far, okay? I know. And happy birth. Wow, she's really fast. Nobody could keep up with her without using magic. Oh, maybe half could be, definitely not quarter. Half could, but maybe not quarter. I used to worry since Rao only had a daughter, and that will be the end of his family line of fighters, but Kubera could become a great fighter in a couple of years. By the way, if you're going to get a birthday party, I could cover your shift today. You should come too. It's not like something's going to happen while we're away for a moment. Sai, this isn't fair. When you pick mushrooms, you're supposed to leave some mushrooms. City people are there merciless. Why should I do? How long is this? God damn. What should I do? Should I go back empty-handed? Kaz will make fun of me. Huh? I managed to at least find one. This isn't even one bite. This mushrooms are supposed to grow in groups. That means there's a lot of mushrooms somewhere around here. A lot of mushrooms have gone recently. There won't be much left. To find them, you'll have to go into the deep woods, but that's dangerous. Just going in for a while is okay, Rowan. If there are mushrooms, they must be nearby. All right, then, here I come. Mushrooms. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Oh, well, there are no mushrooms here either. Oh, I see really tiny ones. Really shouldn't go any further. I'll get lost. It's disappointing, but I should go back. Oh, to be continued. She ran into a god. Cool. I don't think I'm gonna read more. It wasn't that interesting to me. Like, just to be completely fair. I get it, like, it'll be more, I don't know. It's not, I think it's a combination of, like, the art style and just, like, how separated the images are. I guess that's fair since it's a webtoon. Obviously, they're not gonna follow, like, strict, I guess it's because I'm just so accustomed to using manga. But yeah, the art style is a big thing for me. It seems a little too simplistic, so I don't think I'm going to continue. But that's fine. Just give it like 2 more chapters off stream. I'll give it 2 more chapters off stream. I don't want to read it right now because it's a little long, and I want to keep some viewer retention up. Let me see if I get any comments. Hey, nice. If Zoro lands as strong as attack. He'd one-shot Kid. Kid doesn't have impressive speed. And it is often speed blitzed. Damn. Okay. Okay, so the way you view Ken Hockey have been equal to your speed doesn't work, as Isu, the girl from Skypiea, was able to detect everybody in the upper yard, including Anel. I mean, detecting a person isn't the same as being able to quite literally keep up with their movements. Because again, that's she can detect them. It's not like she can sense every single movement that they're doing, and I don't think they were all fighting at the moment that she did it, unless you can give me like a chapter. Hey, what's up, Ayo? Art looks like an ad. Kinda. It kinda did. Hey, how about a video reaction? Ace go to have Zoro versus Akatsuki or Sasuke. 264, 265. Okay, I'll check those chapters out. Aisu is just Lightspeed. Aisu could just be Lightspeed. Probably. 240, 264, 265. Okay. Well, right here. Shit, I didn't think about that. Okay. Where is Aisu? Where is Aisu? Oh, hey, we're here. I'm a warrior of Shandora. Tell me about that. Blah, 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 blah. Mountain Belly. Is the site free? It is free. It is free. Just gotta be careful about ads, which I needed to get some ad block for this. Do you have a page number, Forzy-chan? I'll just imagine page 1, 264. Okay, thank you. You're amazing. Officially returning, thanks. It's a level faster. So it surprised me too. The Jet Dial became extinct some centuries ago. I didn't think it's E1 on a waiver. The 4 of them are unbeatable when they're together. There aren't any group of 4 on this island. What? 2's the most. If there were a group of 4, I'd know. Mantra? The power they say the Kami and his vassals have. I was born with it. That's why I'm scared. I'm scared of the voices will disappear. Ice's waiver's broken. And then the first few pages. Okay. I'm not crying. What exactly am I supposed to be looking for, though? Like, she can sense them, that's fine, but that's just sensing presence. Sensing presence and, like, detecting your opponent's next attack are completely different, like, applications of observation hockey. It's like being able to sense the emotions of another person, how, like, Luffy and Fujitora can do it. Observation hockey does multiple things, but they're like essentially different applications of it. Okay, so you said the first pages of 265. Thank you. Okay. First few pages. First few pages. First few pages. Get an L. Pass. Pre-time skip. Where's Isa? I still don't see Isa anywhere. Observation hockey is equal to Sage Mode plus Sharingan. I would say it's better because you have a way higher like range of like. So with observation hockey, your range of detection is not only much higher, you can also sense people's emotions and you can predict their next move even with your eyes closed. And it's all based off of intention, so it doesn't require the person to have chakra either. Was one from observation hockey is its own thing, yes, but there are different applications of it. It's kind of how there are different applications of armament hockey. You get what I'm saying? Kind of like how with advanced armament hockey, you have emission and internal destruction. Observation hockey allows you to sense people specifically like their souls or presence, depending on who you ask, over an extremely massive range. You can also detect how many people there are in a location. You can sense a person's emotions by the hue of their outline or their presence. And I just got done breaking my back grinding Geo in Hollow Knight and Mastered Advanced. Like you can, how do I explain it? You can technically argue that like the ability to sense a person's presence and then the ability to sense a person's intent are two different applications of the same ability from like observation hockey. You're still sensing presence, you're just sensing intent versus sensing you're still sensing intent. Sorry for disturbing you, but watch the Arcane video. Oh, that's right. You did mention watching Arcane. I'm sorry. I was just looking at this real quick because somebody was asking me, Forzy Chan was asking me. To check out like a thing for Aiza. No, Sage Mode have high areas Naruto the whole world by sitting. Due to the whole world by sitting, and it also detects emotions. No, Sage Mode does not detect emotions. The reason why Naruto can detect emotions is because of Kurama, specifically negative emotions. And the area isn't as large as you think it is. For example, Naruto can't figure out where pain is. He has to stab himself. You need a connection to chakra for that to happen. However, if we're talking about, like, let's say when we enter the war, that's because a bunch of people are already fighting, so you can sense massive nodes of chakra spurring up from across the battlefield. But yeah, that's because that's because there's a lot of chakra essentially like coming out. Like, yeah, Naruto can sense like everybody in the village thanks to Sage Mode. Granted, someone like Aiza, and depending on again who we're talking about, Rayleigh can sense like an entire island. Like the One Piece, the island that Luffy fought in has like its own massive volcanoes and giant trees and shit compared to like, let's say, the Hidden Leaf. Oh, Naruto does have the best Sage Mode feats though. Naruto 100% has the best Sage Mode feats. Oh, I'm on chapter 266. I probably went too far ahead. My apologies. Oh wait, you said the start of 265. That's what it was. I did look at it already. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no. Average Sage is just worse. I wouldn't say average Sage is just worse. Sage Mode is crazy. I mean, it depends. Also, I'm having like a hard time even figuring out, because like I want to make the Naruto versus Luffy video, but I'm having a hard time figuring out like how powerful Sage Mode actually is. Because like, you can't... I was watching a Six stream yesterday, and he brought up some very good points that like, even though it does utilize Sage energy, it's not the same thing as a cursed mark. It's not inherently the same thing as a cursed mark, so you can't really argue that like the amp is the same. Even if like you still want to go with like the 10 times amp for Luffy. So it's, I don't know. I'm like on the fence about whether or not I'm on the fence about it. I'll say that. So you said Arcane. Sorry for disturbing. Watch Arcane next video. Okay. Oh yeah, I recommend reading Gachia Kuta, made by the same mangaka as Soul Eater and Fire Force. That sounds cool. Is it this one? Arcane Co? Ayo? Arcane latest. No. What am I supposed to look up specifically? Can I get like a video title maybe? Gachia Kuta. Let's look up Gachia Kuta while Ayo types that up. Gachia Kuta. I'm still waiting as to why you believe hockey can't neg other versus powers. Because a hockey... let me stretch. Okay. Hockey being able to negate Devil Fruit abilities is just a byproduct of the ability itself. It doesn't actually negate... It doesn't actually, like, negate powers themselves. Like, it doesn't negate specific traits, like, let's say, specific traits that, like, or characteristics or, like, mechanics that a person has. Take King, for example. No matter how strong your hockey is, you can't negate the natural mechanics and abilities that come from King's body. His ability to, like, manipulate fire and stuff, hockey can't negate that. You can't really argue that hockey can negate abilities cross-verse without using verse equalization. With verse equalization, I mean, hey, argue whatever you want. I don't really care. I don't argue verse equalization anyway. But in terms of... Oh, by the assistant of the author. Okay. Couldn't you scale Sage Mode Pain to beneath Naruto? I can scale Sage Mode Naruto to beneath Pain. That's fine. What I mean, Makito, is more so I can't scale... I can't give an actual multiplier for how strong Arcane. What One Piece is actually about. I can't actually give you like a multiplier for it. I don't care if like how strong it is. I only care about how much more powerful it makes the character. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did mean that. I can only talk about like how much more powerful does it make the character, if that makes sense. Like because like you can reinforce like your bones and like your muscles with chakra, like, you know, perform incredibly powerful feats, like let's say Tsunade and Sakura in terms of like lifting and, you know, punching strength. But well, Sakura wise, you know, throwing that pillar. I don't know about actual lifting strength, but Is there? I don't. What video am I supposed to click on? My thing is more. You could argue we haven't seen Haki strong enough to bypass Lunarian Flames. I mean, would it really bypass Lunarian Flames though? That's really what I'm asking. Because it's like it doesn't negating Devil Fruit abilities is just a byproduct of what Haki can do. Haki doesn't actually negate your abilities and stuff like that. It only allows you to sense presence, do all the stuff for observation Haki does, allow you to basically create invisible armor around your body to essentially increase your offensive and defensive capabilities, and then basically if you're one of the 1 in a million people, intimidate your opponent or essentially give yourself like an aura that powers you up like Advanced Conquerors. He's a small YouTuber. That's why it's so hard to find. Okay. Haki can't negate natural abilities such as King's Fire or Miss Golden Week's Reality Warp Painting, but we did see Haki neg immortality from the Gorosei who aren't Devil Fruit users. We don't know if the Gorosei are Devil Fruit users. That's the one thing I can't tell you. I'm on the fence on whether or not they are. Halo Jeff, I'm just on the fence about that, but it doesn't really like negate them. It's sort of just like deactivating their powers, so to speak. But that, again, you could still tie their powers to Devil Fruit abilities. Hey yo, I'm sorry, I can't find it. Like I know that I realize that like there's a smaller YouTuber and stuff, and that's fine. Maybe is there any way? Oh, is it this one? Okay, this one. Got it. Let me make this bigger for you guys real quick. Okay, I got it. Has different yin yang. Okay. I mean, the snake chicks are able to hurt Luffy despite him being made out of rubber. Yeah, but they hurt him because they use Haki. They can use Haki. They just don't have great Haki. You know what I mean? Bro, I recently found a thing that Madara is faster than 6 paths. Naruto, as his limbo, can fight with them, and Naruto and Sasuke have only half, and half of Madara contained. I mean, no. They're stronger and faster than he is. They easily speed blitz them. They hit him multiple times. None of his attacks ever landed. And just because his limbos can fight with them, Naruto made 6 clones. Madara needed to get, let me put it like this. Madara needed to get how do I explain it? Madara needed to get a second Rinnegan eye. His clone's still only tied with Naruto. He needed to get a third eye, and the only reason, and Six actually brought this up, and I do agree with him, the only reason why those Limbo clones, if anything, the only reason why those Limbo clones were surrounding them is because Madara can call them out again. Remember, the Limbo clones have to pop out eventually. They have to, like, come back eventually to Madara. He can't just keep them outside. There's no way to say that he's faster than them. He has no speed feat that, like, just shows he's straight up faster than them, especially since Sasuke caught up and speed blitzed them. The book Fruit creates pocket dimensions. Isn't that some multiversal hacks? I wouldn't say it's multiversal hacks. I wouldn't say that. Would you think that Haki should be able to bypass infinity? I mean, I assume you mean bypass infinity, as it would be hitting Gojo's true body, similar to Caribou using boundless amount of space, but the Haki user can hit his true body. That's a little bit different because Caribou, the way that Haki works is that it solidifies, I can find the manga chapter if you guys want for this, but it solidifies Logia users. Caribou does have like a pocket dimension inside his own body that allows him to store what seemingly seems like an endless amount of things, and he can turn himself into like mud or a swamp or whatever the hell he is. But it's not about hitting the true body, you're just solidifying them. With Gojo, it's not so much him not having his true body or like Limitless creating like a false body or whatever. With Limitless, it creates an infinite series of space between Gojo and the attacker or like the threat. Therefore, it always seems like you're stopping because you're essentially traveling an infinite distance and you can't essentially bypass it. With Rio, I don't think you can, again, argue it because we've seen that Rio has to travel. Advanced Armament Haki, Internal Destruction, or Emission, it has to still travel. There's still a distance that it has to reach, go past your own body. You get what I'm saying? So, let's say, okay, you have, let me just bring up an image real quick. Gojo versus Hanami, Jogo. Okay. Let me see if I can just find a flick of it. Just a flick of it. Like, okay. I was talking about like domain amplification like right here, right? Where like they're trying to punch through them and they're trying to force their way through. It's like, for that to work, you would still have to get the Haki to bypass an infinite distance. An actual infinite space to still hit Gojo, so it can't bypass it. Oh, it's really his first One Piece video? Oh, okay. We'll check out the video first. We'll check out the video first. It depends on how big the pocket dimension is. His editing is actually fire. Yep. Those 6-path seals allowed Hagoromo and Hamura to fight Kaguya. Man, I'd love to see more Naruto versus One Piece. I've been actually like slowing down on like the Naruto versus One Piece. By the way, thank you so much for the kind thing. The Kaido versus Madara video honestly was like, I really thought it was like gonna get people really pissed off, honestly, because again, comparing Naruto versus One Piece, and then how One Piece's island, all that bullshit. I don't know. It's weird. Conqueror's Haki would negate the ability. Conqueror's Haki, again, it wouldn't negate the ability because it only prevents Devil Fruit abilities from affecting the user. It doesn't entirely negate them. You know what I mean? Like, Law using his Conqueror's Haki, not Conqueror. Law using his Haki to base, and it's not just Conqueror's Haki. It's not Conqueror's Haki that allows you to do that. It's just your Haki itself. What about Haki being resistant to Law's Devil Fruit? It's not Conqueror's Haki itself. It's just Haki, and you can see this with Law when he's fighting the Blackbeard pirates and he gets turned into a woman. Well, watch it after I'm just done catching up with these. Where Law doesn't have Conqueror's Haki, and he's just forcing his Haki out, and that reverts him back into a man. It's not Conqueror's Haki that, again, negates the abilities, quote unquote. It's just his Haki is so much stronger. Not armament, not observation, not Conqueror's. Just his Haki alone is so strong, it is negating Doc Q's sick fruit. Does that make sense? Here's the thing. Haki does have 3 forms to it: advanced, armament, and advanced armament. Observation, armament, and conquerors. But Haki in of itself is just, let's say, like your strength, your power level, your willpower, however you want to call it. It's how Blackbeard mentioned it when he first mentioned in the story. When it's first mentioned in the story, his Haki. 30 million berries, his Haki his Haki was definitely stronger than that. Luffy can't use Haki, he doesn't know about it, but he still has Haki. Same as how Sanji is able to use Haki in Nami's body. It's a thing that exists within your body, regardless of whether or not you can utilize it or weaponize it. It's like your aura, it's like your energy, it's like whatever. And is why Sanji was able to still use observation Haki within Nami. It's not that his own Haki went into Nami's body. No, it's Nami, like Chopper, like Jinbei, like Brook. They all have Haki. It's just some people know how to use it and some don't. Well, Law Solo JJK. What's up, Kagemaru? Hope you've been good. Probably. He can definitely make a room larger than 200 meters, and he can definitely escape Sukuna's thing. If he covers his body in armament Haki, I'm not sure if Sukuna can cut him. World cutting dismantle, I can argue is light speed, depending on whether or not you think an attack, specific attack from Kashimo is made out of EN waves, and that would mean the world cutting dismantle is light speed. Light speed's still too slow, so no. What about Gojo? Anything within a room can be severed because of anything in a room can be severed with with amputating knife. With amputation, anything inside a room can be severed, and technically Law doesn't have to. The room itself would just cover Gojo. The room itself would cover Gojo, so I would think that he can solo all JJK. To put it like this, and just to give you guys an idea, because JJK is, in terms of power scaling itself, in terms of versus battles, JJK is a series that is easily enough to basically talk about whether or not you think a character can solo the verse. Essentially, can he beat Gojo? Yes. Can he beat Sukuna? Yes. Solos JJK. Can he beat Sukuna? Yes. Can he beat Gojo? No. Cannot solo JJK. Can he beat Gojo? Yes. Can he beat Sukuna? No. Cannot solo JJK. It's only those 2 characters that matter. If you can beat either one of those 2 characters, you can solo the series. All right. No, they can't. Dude, this... Okay, no, the editing is crazy.
One Piece is actually a story about a corrupt globalist world government, a large consortium
I feel like...
built on a rather interesting and complex system.
I don't know why. I feel like I've seen this editing before in like a music video.
The Illuminati, a tightly layered power structure operating as a deep state. They pretend to serve the people's interests in exchange for nation sovereignty, a force whose grip on power is threatened by one prophetic individual whose undying fate, woven through the course of history,
This is so cool.
finally challenge this satanic cartel.
Yeah, he could also put just Sukuna's soul inside like a fodder body. Or
Joyful journey of Luffy and his crew across the Grand Line lies
yeah, they have to like render a lot of this.
while at first the One Piece world
Oh, that's definitely AI.
is old
AI. AI.
adventure
Definitely AI.
reveal the existence of advanced technology, suggesting a far more sophisticated past. As the story unfolds, we realize that the true power governing the
This is extremely impressive.
cabal of malevolent individuals who 800 years ago formed the world government. They did it after
No, AI art is 100% clean. I don't deny. Listen, I'm not one of those people that like. I'll say it after the video, actually.
but remnants of this past still exist, thanks to the ancient
I'm not someone who's like against AI art, to be clear. Like, I get why artists and people in general can hate it and say it's not real art and stuff. I get all that. I get you, but and there is AI art that just looks terrible, but that was clean. That was clean. It can look better, but that's only with that's only as technology evolves. That's only as like the technology itself evolves. I don't know if Emu's a girl. We don't know. It could be inside Lily's body, so who knows?
These weapons are said to possess overwhelming catastrophic power, capable of destroying entire civilizations or even sinking the world into the ocean. It becomes clear in the story that there is something from that past the world government desperately tries to keep hidden. During the lost era known as the Void Century, the most prominent figure to be documented was Joy Boy, someone whose legacy is intricately tied to the greatest mystery of all, One Piece. This treasure, left behind on the final island of the Grand Line, can only be found by locating the 4-road poneglyphs, which reveal its coordinates. Only one pirate crew has ever set foot on that island, Gold D. Rogers' crew. However, upon
Can't listen to the audio. Can you guys hear it? What's up, Brown Pants? I'm gonna just raise up the volume a little bit.
they realized they had
We're just watching this for a bit. We can also throw in more. Are you muted? I'm not muted. You guys can't hear it. That's so weird.
Roger understood
It says.
was destined to return to that island in the future, carrying the inherited will of Joy Boy.
It says it should be able to.
Himself into the world government to be publicly executed.
That's so weird.
Era.
It's a whisper?
Ultimate goal
Alright.
was to inspire a new generation
Let me,
who would one day carry both Joy Boy
My apologies.
and will and venture out to sea to finish what they had started. God, I love this story.
Damn, I raised it like last second. Thoughts on Emu being a child boy? It'd be funny to see like Emu, the strongest character in the verse right now, basically being just like a baby.
Let's talk about interesting cards.
Yeah, let's talk about interesting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yeah, exactly. All right. Actually, I want to check out the new Death Battle. I'd actually be. How about Akatsuki versus Zoro by IBG Anime? A funny ending after this. Sure. We can watch Zoro versus the Akatsuki. I don't know how he beats Obito, but not okay. I don't know how he like bypasses Obito's IBJ. Okay. Did you see the new Death Note? I've heard of the new Death Note game. I've heard of it. I'm not interested in the slightest bit. I feel like it's just gonna be some. I don't know. It doesn't seem. From what I know. Versus Burgess, sure. You should play Wilds Beta. Yeah, I could play the Wilds Beta. We could do that later in this afternoon. I do want to like let my eyes rest a bit, and we'll do it later in the evening. God, that is fucking loud. Holy shit. Holy. I gotta lower that. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta lower that. Yeah, we can look up Sanji versus Jesus Burgess. First arc Soul Society? How do they beat the Seraphim? How do they hurt the Seraphim?
決戦前にイタチヒダ皆心しておけ行くぞじゃあねクソ野郎どもてめえは手を出す
Oh man, by the way, if anyone ever asks me, by the way, if anyone in chat or anyone like on YouTube ever asks me what if Zoro and Sasuke fought, this would happen. This exact thing here would happen. Sasuke's neurons would not even be able to detect Zoro move. He could have like the Mangekyo plus Rinnegan 9 Tomoe active. That shit is not even remotely. That shit is not. That shit is not even gonna remotely make up a difference. I just found out Viola can see through all of Dressrosa, and her Devil Fruit's radius is 4,000 kilometers. Yeah, no, her Devil Fruit's radius is crazy. An accurate depiction of Zoro versus Hidan, 100%. Oh yeah, Sasuke was speed blitzed by a dinosaur. That's crazy. Versus Zoro. It's also got a funny ending. Cool. Kakuzu, no, that was Hell Meppo. That's crazy. You still on vacation? No, I'm not on vacation. I haven't been on vacation since like August. Oh no, the Sharingan. I'm gonna be put into Genjutsu. I don't think Dressrosa is exactly 4,000 kilometers because she can kind of see outside of the range of Dressrosa, but it's pretty damn big. And it would also mean it's bigger than the entirety of the United States. And that's just one island, by the way. How strong is the King Kong gun then? Well, put it like this. Okay. How big is Earth kilometers? Okay, so it has a diameter of 12,000. So Dressrosa as a whole has 4,000. So yeah, Dressrosa as a whole is like a third the size of like Earth in terms of size. It's like a third the size of Earth. Yeah. I'm not debating noodles. I'm not going to debate anybody who essentially immediately goes down the hole of like insulting another person based on an opinion. I watched his like reaction video. I watched like the whole reaction stream and everything. He did not make a good fucking argument. And inaccurate, 100%. He doesn't need hockey. Genjutsu doesn't work outside of verse equalization. That is true. It is will-based. I wanted to talk to him. I just haven't actually done it. I mean, well, okay, I didn't say I would talk to him. I said I'm down to have a conversation with him. But that would be off stream, and that would be like versus equalized. Fair. That's the opposite direction. I could barely move him. I mean, oh. I ain't gonna lie. This fit is crazy. This fit looks nice. This fit looks nice. This fit looks nice. Yeah, they really did leave him there. Wait. Okay. Wait, we got some comments. Can you make Gara versus Crocodile? I could make it. As a kid fan, this video was Chef's Kiss. Hey! Not first, but keep cooking. Wavy. When did Buggy become the strongest pirate of today? Listen, if you don't think Buggy is the strongest pirate of today, bro, it is crazy. Alright, Sanji versus Jesus Burgess. Crocodile stumps. What was the video and by who? You said Eero somebody? Let's see. I can't find it. I'm actually really down to watch Zoro vs. Adult Sasuke by the same channel if you agree. Actually, I want to watch the death battle real quick. Oh, right. Zoom out. Right. You asked me this a while back. We'll watch this, then we'll watch versus. Then we'll watch the the death battle. I want to watch that first. Which one do you guys want to sit down and watch? Check this one. I did check out a Sanji versus Doflamingo fan animation a month ago or so. So which of these did you guys want to fight? Doflamingo versus Sasori? Doflamingo quite literally curb stomped Sasori before Sasori even gets a chance to bring out his 100 puppets. 100 puppets. The Iron Sand isn't fast enough to tag Doflamingo. And I'd be lying if I said that, like, Sasori would probably be able to, like, manipulate his puppets better than Doflamingo just using parasitic string. Wait, so what's the video that player A wanted to watch? Specifically, which one? Superman versus Hulk? Yeah, he can also just, like, control Sasori. What's the video title, player A? No, Akatsuki stocks are honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. If Zoro joined the Akatsuki, they don't even need a 10 tails at that point. Like, there's literally no government in the Naruto world that can stop Zoro at that point. Yeah, I'm gonna check out Joker versus Giorno. You can also just, yeah, that's also true. He can just turn the Iron Sand and the puppets all to string. They're all non-living objects. You can turn them into string. Is there a specific video you guys want me to watch from this guy? Was it like a Godzilla one? King Kong versus Godzilla? We'll watch the King Kong versus Godzilla. 10 minutes. That's a little long. Fuck it. We can watch Godzilla versus King Kong. I found the greatest animation Naruto vs. JJK by Chinese guy. Clearest animation, plot 7. Anyone. Okay. Yeah, well, he could probably turn the actual, like, puppet body and everything into string. What was it, Abidur? I'm sorry. Thank you, Viola. Now I can finally see to everyone Doflamingo destroys Pain and it's not even close. Oh, okay. Noodles is way too toxic. I mean, listen, in terms of, like, and by the way, if Bado is still here, in terms of, like, just Noodles, I said I'd be down and, like, talk to him. I'm not gonna go out of my way to contact him either. Like, you know, if if the stars ever align and we do have a conversation, I'm down to have a conversation with him. I'm down to talk to him. I don't think it'd be on stream or anything, but I mean, one of the first things I saw him type up during, like, that live was that, during, like, that reaction or whatever, was that, like, something about you moron or something like that. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna have a conversation with somebody that, like, immediately defaults to, like, insulting somebody. It's not my thing. It's power scaling. It's not that serious. It's a hobby. It's a fun little thing that we can talk about, but it's nothing. And part of, like, the Discord that, especially with, like, my Discord, I'm not down for, like, anyone calling each other tards or anything. If you disagree with it, like, with a conversation, just disagree with it. It's fine. Ah, yay. What if Doflamingo replaced Pain during the destruction of the Hidden Leaf? Water bullets from the toads would be a problem. By the way, this is really good. I'm about to see absolute bullshit in a few minutes. That's crazy. Okay, tail slap, weave. Who knows? It's a fiction. I'm saying like the giant water bullets from the toads. If they figure out like the weakness, they could be a problem. Granted their size, but again, yeah, Doflamingo should be able to speed blitz it. Yeah, Kong is really big. I was wondering that. I mean, it's still a body of water. I think there's like an SBS statement that says, like I said in the Discord, we got a non-toxic power scaling community before GTA 6. True. Yeah, Birdcage actually, I think Birdcage unironically solos the entire Hidden Leaf. Like, what do they do? Doflamingo just like wraps himself up into the sky, no one's reaching him. Fuck's Guy gonna, like, even if Guy was there, like, what is he gonna do? Fly up into the sky in 8 gate? Doflamingo just weaves him every time. Even if you want to argue that, like, he's stronger. The first 4 Hokage, as individuals in their prime, they are comparable to an emperor in power, or jutsu-wise, not speed-wise. I would not say the Hokage are even comparable to the Yonko. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't say that. Like, Hashirama's your best bet in terms of just raw damage output. No way. No way! No, I'm not watching this. Where's Joker? What was it? Joker versus nah. See, here's what we're not about to do. We're not about to say that a fucking bit of sand somehow stops a goddamn fucking blast breath, bro. Nah. I'm sorry. Let's watch a good video. Hey, Marvel Snap, cool. Kong is just that guy. That sand is bullshit. I'm sorry. Atomic Breath? I'm sorry. No, I can't finish watching that. I already know who wins based off of bias. That's a monkey. That's one of them motherfuckers. How about EMS Madara without Kurama versus Sukuna 20 finger? You know what's funny, Mitali? I brought this. I've been bringing this up in my Discord chat. I think unironically Sukuna does a 20 finger Sukuna beats Madara without like just EMS Madara. I think he beats him. If you can argue that the world cutting dismantle is light speed, I think that Madara has no way of dodging that. He never dodges the Raikage. I have no reason. Who again I would even argue isn't light speed, but whatever. He's not dodging the world cutting dismantle, especially if it's invisible. Can you read my last? Oh, I'm sorry, number 1. I'm sorry. What if Gaara infused Crocodile Sand with chakra? That's the only thing. I mean, that's interesting. That's an interesting take. I don't know if he's directly controlling Crocodile, though, because Crocodile is his own being. Like, Crocodile is technically his own being, so I'm not sure if it would work. We can watch the Superman vs. Hulk. Yeah. Can just create new sand. That is true, he can just make more sand. I mean, to be fair, I'm not watching it thinking that Hulk is gonna win. There's no way Hulk beats Superman. Oh yeah, the Gotcha Akuta. I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about maybe giving Fire Force a rewatch. I'll probably give it Control. I'll probably give it a watch.
personas to battle their foes in the metaverse and steal their hearts, the source of their moral corruption, Ren and company could cause such foes to repent in the real world. So the friends formed a band called the Phantom Thieves, with Ren as their leader, codenamed Joker. And Joker's first persona was the Arsene, with razor-sharp claws and
Watch. Yeah, we can watch. We can watch. Eisen was a good villain. Was Eisen a good villain? We can watch that. I'm gonna give you guys until like. I'm gonna give you guys a bit of time though. Yeah, I don't like the excessive fan service. I don't like the excessive fan service in Fire Force. It's so annoying.
So Joker can fight with manifestations of deities like Beelzebub, Odin, and Jesus Christ. Wow, he looks way different than in the paintings I've seen. Oh hey, did you know that a persona is connected to their user's own stamina? So when a persona is shattered, even though it's not like dead, it does rattle the user pretty badly. Well, without his personas, Joker can still rely on his guns, grappling hooks, smoke bombs, etc.
He does have.
Compared to summoning actual Satan, but in the
That is true.
perception is reality. No, really, it actually works like that. In the real world, Joker's gun is only a prop. However, with Joker's reputation in the metaverse, this prop becomes a god killer. As the Phantom Thieves' reputation increased, so did their power, simply because that's how they were perceived. Kinda like how personas are empowered by the social links Joker possesses with his friends. Yes, in the world of Persona, hanging out with your buds makes you stronger. Anime! Game! At their max, social links can bring a wildcard user back from the brink of
I'm sorry. Let me see.
instilling them with will.
Luffy can beat 10 to and 11 tails since he's solar. I don't know if he's solar. I wouldn't agree with that, but
Have a cold one on.
I wouldn't agree with it necessarily, but well, okay, I think Luffy can beat the 10 tails. I just don't think he's solar system.
Meters maxed out. Oh, yeah. Well, guess there's no point to us hanging out anymore. Later, loser, I'm gonna go do untested pharmaceuticals and date my teacher. Oh.
Untested pharmaceuticals and yeah.
Over the course of his adventures leading the Phantom Thieves, Joker's bonds made him as powerful as the gods he commands. He can dodge Lucifer's Morning Star, which summons an energy beam that travels several light years in seconds, millions of times faster than light. Or survive a cheeseburger that exploded big enough to eclipse a nebula. Talk about having stomach problems. No wonder Joker can face up against
Isn't that just like
and reshape all of reality.
I mean, I guess.
Who used the metaverse to rewrite all of reality to fit his desires. Or Yaldabaoth, who merged the real world and metaverse together. It was in this battle with Yaldabaoth that Joker upgraded Arsene to create Sataniel, the biblical angel of vengeance. With a big-ass gun, perceive this reality, bitch! Its primary attack, Sinful Shell, is imbued with what is known as almighty energy, which can bypass any defense, even that from the omnipotent orb, which can explicitly rewrite reality. Yes, very good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Jorno can't win this.
Around the world, Joker and his friends prove that you're never too young to change society for the better.
Okay.
How arduous the forces against you may be.
Ah.
Man is keeping you down. Just call up the Phantom Thieves to put them in their place. They'll never see it coming.
Yes, the anti-GER gun. Yeah.
Giovanna always wanted to be a gangster. Cause damn it feels good to be a gangster. Gone are the days of leaving horse heads in your enemy's bed or squeezing their head in a vice till they pop. Giorno wanted to be a different kind of gangster. A more
Yeah, I mean, if it bypasses the laws of the universe, then who cares about GER?
withdrawn boy on the streets of Naples. Giorno's life changed the day he saved a wounded mobster. In return, he was rewarded with future protection from abuse and isolation. This act of reciprocal kindness convinced Giorno of the value of the mob as a social organization, if only it was commanded by the right person. Someone like Giorno. All he had to do was take control of the Neapolitan Mafia, Passione, and their army of superpowered assassins. Ambitious? Maybe. But hey, he's the bastard son of the insane vampire Deuce Lord himself, Dio Brando, who conceived Giorno while possessing the
I don't know about the art style being whack. JoJo's art style is so unique.
This technically makes Giorno both a Brando and a JoJo. Hence the name, JoJo. Get it? Well, he didn't just inherit the name, but also the Joestar bloodline's power. Giorno possesses a stand, gold experience.
She had build up and she didn't do anything. That's crazy.
Punchy ghosts that protect their user and come with incredible superpowers, like stopping time, making fiction
Yeah.
Cooking Italian food. God damn, give me that one.
And Giorno's gold experience has perhaps the greatest potential of any stand in the series. With just a touch, it can imbue inanimate objects with golden life energy.
Turning them into any plant or animal in an instant and back again. Giorno uses this with maximum creativity, like disguising a gun as a banana so you accidentally blow your own brains out. A gorilla's worst nightmare.
Giorno is, frankly, a
Stream foes?
when it comes to gold experience's ability.
Like transforming bullets into flesh to heal the very wounds they made, or changing a brick into a snake that can detect.
As a power scaler, Eon, I think there needs to be more tiers than FTL, FTL plus, massively FTL, massively FTL plus. There is a clear instance for speed between 1000 C and 8 billion C. You know what it is? I think that, like, even when it comes to, like, power scaling as a whole, I don't understand what, like, term like FTL plus means. Like, what's the difference between FTL plus and FTL? You know what I mean? It's like if something is like 2 times the speed of light, I guess it's difficult to, like, somehow implement that, because ultimately, again, they're all just colloquial terms that's used. I've been using this term a lot, colloquial term, but it's like it's all about how the masses in general, just how the community as a whole chooses to interpret something and whether or not they choose to adopt a term. That's fair. If you dropped JoJo because of the art, that's fine.
Filters out the toxins in the piss he was drinking. I thought I was the only one who did that. Should the object
What power-ups do you want the rest of the Straw Hats to gain in Outbaths? It seems like they'll be able to use stronger moves more casually. I'll get into that after this.
Source.
Not only that, any damage Giorno's creations receive will be reflected onto the opponent.
Giorno can even
Ooh.
imbue living things with this same energy. This supercharges the target's consciousness, causing them to outpace their physical body, and leaving them totally helpless to counterattack.
It might seem like you got 10 times faster, but you're actually experiencing time at a way slower rate, while your body is stuck in the same position. Imagine a Buddha telling not spell for 20 straight seconds.
Metali, the 10-tailed beast bombs would never hit Luffy. They're too slow. It doesn't matter how strong. It doesn't matter if you have a cannon that shoots nukes. If you can never land the nukes on the target.
Gold experience has a speed rating of A, putting him in the same league as stands like Star Platinum and Silver Chariot, which are faster than light.
And although his strength stats
I don't know if I would. Yeah. I think Rocky also said that, like, they were inconsistent. My favorite JoJo part is part 7. Steel Ball Run is so goated. I've read it 2 or 3 times. Once in black and white and once in colored. I think I've read it 3 times in the same year, actually.
Its reclusive leader, Diavolo.
Wait. Diavolo?
Hokage versus... Oh, I can watch that. I can react to that. Part 7 is peak. Part 7 is 100% peak. I haven't been able to finish part 8 just because, like, I stopped caring.
Ben Joseph. Joshua Joseph. JoJo.
We're moving on. Diavolo's goal was to get his hands on a stand arrow. And when a stand is pierced by a stand arrow, it evolves.
So, Joe got it first and transformed.
Also, even if the 10-tails, like, shoots a tailed beast bomb at Luffy, he could just grab the ground and just bounce it right back.
Requiem stands
Luffy can make himself bigger than the 10-tails.
It's almost like they elevate your stand beyond the need for combat. Gold
Or at least as big.
in short, negate any action taken by
Yeah, I burned myself out at, like, the midpoint as well with part 8.
shifting reality back
I'd probably get into some, like, JoJo scaling. I could definitely do some JoJo scaling next year.
Fired at a Giorno with gold experience Requiem, no matter how accurate
Yeah, no, Gappy gets fucking busted. I still don't know why they call him Gappy, though.
by gun.
that.
Hey, what's up, Easy Evil?
And also a horrific example of gun safety. This applies to any
I have a character in the story I'm writing. She can use return to 0. That's actually her main ability, just returning things to 0. But she sort of, like, just stops, like, momentum for the most part.
Diavolo stand
She doesn't use the full potential of the ability.
purposely skipped time, erasing the universe for 10 seconds. And Requiem negated that.
It undid time being erased, while time was already erased, which meant there was no time to unerase the erased time, and
That's right, Boomstick. Requiem's ability acts independently of time itself. Sound crazy? Well, Requiem can counter the stand made in heaven, which can accelerate time across the whole universe into infinity. So that kind of range of Requiem's ability is actually consistent.
it also reduces your willpower to 0, so you can't even fight back.
Even your death can be returned to 0. After pummeling Diavolo into pulp, Requiem prevented him from dying, forcing him to relive the experience of being killed
Wonder of You shit stomps all of Bleach. There's nothing anyone in Bleach can do.
in alternate universe for eternity.
Just when you
There's nothing Bleach can do. It doesn't. I mean,
close you back in. The second
unless you're going by like the idea that like Bleach characters are too strong and you do the whole I'm stronger than you can't affect me, then unless you go by that logic, there's nothing that they can do against Wonder of You. The moment you even think about chasing or trying to attack Wonder of You, you'll lose.
their hopes and dreams could be carried into the future.
I haven't checked out SCP scaling yet.
Bento Arreo.
Yeah, Ichigo trips on his socks and instantly dies. Exactly.
Game with all the superheroes and the cool art. You know, variants, and they add new cards each week. Plus, they just
It allows you to see intent. I'm not sure if it will allow you to see stands. Granted, if I were doing like a versus matchup, even with no verse equalization, I would just say they can at least see the stands. They can't touch the stands because you can't touch a stand unless you yourself have a stand, but at least allow them to see it, depending on like the case. Hey, what's up, famous guy? How you doing?
it's time for a death battle.
Gold experience.
Are set. Giorno Giovanna, your heart is twisted.
It is ours to take. Shogi Fantasma. My dreams are yours to take.
Persona.
He'll never see it coming.
This is cool. Ooh, Giorno with the... Ooh, okay.
Alice.
Impossible. A second stand.
How would the Bears hurt him if Gold Experience is light speed?
You never took the time to
Can Ichigo cut the ability to cut fate?
all objects given life by gold experience desire to return home.
That's crazy. Animation-wise, this might be one of my favorite.
Creates life. I've got to nullify that.
Jack Frost. Ice Age.
We're like, this is basically like a maxed out Joker, like level 99, all stats maxed. Like, damn.
Jack Frost. Ice Age.
This Shoko Fantasma is justice. This is Requiem.
Wouldn't Joker be dead from that barrage? Wouldn't Joker be dead from that why is he still alive? Cool.
Maybe you didn't hear me before.
I'm doing good, Brandy. I'm doing very good. Hope you've been having a good day. Happy Halloween, guys. I've seen videos where like somebody makes Arsene like maxed out.
No, never had the makings of a varsity death battle winner.
This was an absolutely fascinating matchup and far from an easy call.
Joker versus
Merry Halloween, everyone.
wasn't close though.
Just got some Raycon earbuds. Hey, they sound good. I'm happy to hear that, Brandy. I'm happy to hear they sound good. Millions of times faster. That's crazy.
No doubt Joker could see Giorno's stand, considering he could spot similar beings like Shadow.
Add in and the versatility of Joker's hundreds of personas, and Giorno could get quickly overwhelmed.
But that's where Requiem came in, and the game changed.
With its ability to nullify any action taken against it, even ones that can affect entire universes, Joker's regular arsenal was rendered moot.
Remember, Requiem could act independently of time, so Joker wouldn't be able to avoid Requiem's ability. He'd have to beat it outright.
Take when the Phantom Thieves faced Maruki. The group couldn't resist the reality warping effects of his powers. He even had an ability that nullified actions against him, similar to Gold Experience Requiem.
But Joker still had an ace up his sleeve. While Requiem can reduce your willpower to 0, Joker's social links were able to recharge him.
It gets pretty stupid quickly. I'm fine with things getting stupid. I just need it to make sense.
Defenses like the Omnipotent Orb, the perfect counter for Requiem.
And this is actually backed up in JoJo. While Requiem only has one appearance in the manga, it did show up in the game, Eyes of Heaven.
There, it faced off against the World Over Heaven, which can overwrite reality to overpower any attack, including Requiem's return to 0. That meant an almighty attack that can bypass reality warping would have the same effect.
No, it wouldn't.
The option he needed
Well, I
to
guess it
land a
would.
killing blow against Requiem's perfect defense.
Dio, he's such a dick, he literally ruined his own son's death battle.
Giorno was brilliant,
All right.
but Joker had the versatility, experience, and almighty power for the final blow.
Giorno missed his golden opportunity and had a
I don't think Left Battle has done anything regarding One Piece besides like Sanji.
The winner is Joker.
Next time on Death.
React to Hokage versus Naruto. I remember somebody asked me to like do was Aizen a good villain? Guys, I might actually like cut the stream short here. I do need to let my eyes rest, and also I'm chilling right now. I think I'm good for a bit. Oh, they did Zoro versus Urza. Yeah, Urza must have won that shit. There's no way I think Zoro wins that. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or is that it? Because I also have to like reply to some of the comments. I have to check out some of the comments for the videos and stuff like that. I'm down to do another stream on Sunday for anybody that's here. There is also a link in the description if you guys would like to join my Discord. I'd appreciate it if you guys could. It's only like $2. You only have to do it like once, and then you guys are in the Discord, and we get to talk. You get to talk to me personally throughout the week and stuff like that. It's nice. Zoro won the Urza fight? No fucking way. Doesn't like Fairy Tail scale way higher than fucking... Okay, sure. I'm cool with that. I'm fine. Yeah. Cool. They've done Zoro and Ace, but never Luffy. It was 2015? Okay. I think that's good for now, though. Probably early arc of Fairy Tail, probably. I think I'm good for the day. It's been enough streaming. I don't know if I'm going to stream later tonight, but I can stream some Monster Hunter Wilds tomorrow. Can you look at your previous comments? Sure. Sorry if I haven't. Can you try watching that? Is there anything else, or was it just that? Stupid situation. I made a couple of RT for SCP. What is RT? I don't know exactly what you want me to like check out, Sean Lord. In terms of like watching stuff, I think I'm just good for the day. But I'll catch you guys all later. Peace out. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and please be safe out there if you're gonna go trick-or-treating or do anything crazy like for Halloween, guys. I'll talk to you guys. I'll probably do a gaming stream tomorrow in around the afternoon, and Sunday stream. Definitely gonna do Sunday stream. Yeah, I can definitely watch any videos you guys want me to watch with you. I can definitely do it on Sunday. I don't have anything to catch up on unless there's gonna be a new One Piece chapter, which I can just leave for stream. But besides that, we can just sit there, react, and just do all the fun stuff. I'll talk to you guys all later, and peace out.